Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff, that's Tom, and a fine Libations Friday to you and yours, loosey-goosey edition. Miss anything, go back, get caught up. All 3 hours posted upon the conclusion of the program. We'll put it on iTunes if you miss anything. We'll also post it to our webpage, ESPNTallahassee.com. You can always email the program if like. It's JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. You can find me on Twitter at JCameronShow. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you're well. Hello, Periscopers. Hope you're well as well. Use the WTSM app for your mobile devices. It's free and useful. Florida State takes on Louisville tomorrow. Really looking forward to this basketball game. Should be a good one. Also should be noted that we'll be at the deck, and I'll get to that part of it in a second. First, let me just say this. Coming up, bottom of the hour, Leonard Hamilton going to join us on the program. He's making time for us this afternoon. Coach Hamilton, whose Noles have won 4 straight in the conference, now 5-4, and a big matchup against Louisville. So Coach Ham joins us at about 3:30ish.
Our team is very hungry. Hopefully, though, that we can be just a little hungrier. Maybe we can be hangry.
I think I'm laughing more at him for laughing at his own joke that he couldn't wait to deliver, and we both knew it was coming, and it was great. Our team is very hungry. Hopefully, though, that we can be just a little hungrier. Maybe we can be hangry. Yeah, he couldn't wait. I still remember it. But, reached out to Coach today and said, hey, man, how about you come on the Jeff Cameron Show? He's like, all right, Jeff, let's do it. And so it will happen here in about 20 minutes, and I look forward to it. That said, and now as we look at that game, fresh off the win against Syracuse, you kind of, you get excited about what potentially is at play here for us. And if you, it's a big if too, by the way. I'm not going to assume anything here. There are certain games where I'd like to say I feel very good about a chance of winning it. This one I think is going to be a war. It just feels like a tremendous basketball game in the making. Louisville is 17-6 overall, 8-2 in the ACC. Florida State, of course, 17-5 overall. 5-4 in the ACC, and while we've got it rolling, I will say Louisville came off a loss to North Carolina and turned around and pasted Virginia Tech. Coach Mack doing a good job with this team in his first year there, and Louisville is a team that always talented. They lead the all-time series against us, 34-11. This is a rivalry that had to resume in 2014 after a 24-year hiatus. They own an 18-3 record against us in Louisville, and it used to be the Metro Conference matchup that everybody was looking forward to seeing. But looks and got a chance to pull it to 12-8 here at Florida State if we were able to get a win, just all time. I like to look at those all time records, Tom.
Well, Chris Mack, it's not typical that you see somebody get elevated from a Group of 5 or non-Power 5 conference to a big-time job in the ACC, and we already have a history with him. Back-to-back years in the tournament.
Yeah, and he's a guy that is easy to dislike. I don't know if he's a bad guy or not. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I don't know. But when there's something about, he's got a smackable face. Mm-hmm. Just saying, you look at him.
That's the agreement. Mm-hmm. Yes.
He does. But Louisville's an experienced team and a deep team and a talented team. And so, I surely expect this game to be close. The matchup in terms of what we're looking at here, very similar. Florida State and Louisville have similar rankings across the board, whether it be points per game, field goal percentage, 3-point field goal percentage, adjusted offense, adjusted defense, very similar teams.
Across the sport in basketball, there are a lot of coaches, college basketball specifically, who have quote-unquote smackable faces.
Oh, yes.
I mean, a ton of them.
Most assuredly.
And we don't.
Oh, Leonard has got a lovable mug.
Easy.
He's got a youthful mug for being 70 years old. It's crazy.
But he doesn't do the whole whining thing. I mean, think about our opponents in the last little while. Passner's ridiculous. Boeheim's ridiculous. Capel was ridiculous. Hurley in the non-conference slate was nuts. Coach K can be
irascible.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, it's tough. It's
Why didn't you make that call?
the oof.
Piercing, isn't
That was
it?
too close to the bone, man. You really hit it that time. Don't do that. I need more of you in that than him.
Teddy.
There, that's okay. Good, you came back. Yeah, it's impossible, man. He's a toughie. Although he gets a lot of credit for this last press conference. He was great, and he correctly.
Well, they got something here. Look at this. The crowd. If the crowd's like that, it won't be. But if it is again,
but it was.
that'll be something.
Yeah. You look at the standings. You know, it's so funny how quick this happens in basketball. I don't know. We'll talk some later about football, but it happens quick in basketball to where you can feel, that you're up against it, and then a few games later, oh man, everything's a breeze. We're 17-5, ranked in the top 25, both polls. Everything's going okay. We're surely going to the tournament. Now go ahead and lose 3 straight. Well, it's unraveled. We've got no shot now. This thing, the hell in a handbasket, I tell you.
We should have quit while we were ahead.
Yeah. But if you're looking at the ACC standings, it's an important game. Virginia and Duke obviously sitting there with North Carolina, all 8-1 in conference. But Louisville's 8-2, and Virginia Tech and Syracuse are 7-3. So if you are to win here, you move to within a game of Louisville, Virginia Tech, and Syracuse, and you have a chance by season's end. And I'm getting way ahead of myself, I know. But you got a chance by season's end to be talking about a top 4 finish in this conference, which not only guarantees you a spot in the NCAA tournament, to say the least, but it would be a point of pride. I mean, obviously, that would be, when you do that exercise, one thing's not like the others. It would be Virginia, Duke, North Carolina, Florida State.
Yeah, we don't have to share our second half of the ACC schedule with the tournament and selection committee. We could just say, hey, look, we won on the road at Syracuse.
Yeah, but
we beat Louisville.
But you did play Virginia on the road, and you did play Duke, and you did have to play North Carolina. It's not, and nobody has it easy.
Yeah.
Nobody has it easy in the ACC.
But the impressive thing is, imagine being in Louisville's shoes. Win tomorrow, you guarantee yourself a 500 slate in the ACC, and you've only played 11 games. That's just incredible for a program that wasn't considered to be contending for a top spot in the conference. Mac is the probably early leader in the clubhouse for some ACC awards.
Yeah, he's done a real good job. I have to say it begrudgingly. He has. He's done a real good job. But you also knew he would. He's a good coach, man. Mm-hmm. He's a real good coach. And so at this point, I wouldn't expect anything else. It's all the more reason, though, that you get excited about the opportunity. And here's what I'll say about that. And we'll talk to Coach Ham about this. But at the end of the day, one of the things I like is that he is even keel. He doesn't panic. And he knows what his team is and the program that he's built and where these opportunities lie. And I think he probably really relishes this opportunity. Again, he's got a team getting healthy at the right time. He's got a team that has bounced back from adversity already in this young campaign in terms of the ACC play. And I think he feels like they're moving in the right direction on the heels of what last season was. You couldn't ask for anything more. And the concern that you had early on with all these injuries was that we wouldn't be in a place where this game would matter. If I told you before the season started that we were going to enter ACC play with Trent Forrest being a shell of himself, not being able to be the guy around the rim that he was a year ago, and Terrence Mann was going to have a prolonged heel injury, limiting his explosiveness and ability to contribute offensively, and that you were going to miss MJ Walker for some games and Phil Cover was going to miss the vast majority of the games, you really would have zero hope. And yet all those things have happened, and we're above 500, taking on Louisville with a chance to get to 6-4 in the ACC and obviously retain our position within the top 25. That would move you into the top 20.
Hey, man, let's go on a major winning streak here. Let's push 8-9 games in a row, and then we can shut Trent Forrest down for a couple of weeks. That's my ideal plan. It's not going to help him long term. He still needs more medical attention. But you saw, coming off of a week layoff when we played Georgia Tech, he looked much more fresh. Tuesday, not so much.
It's not gonna happen.
But if you can afford him a lot of time before the tournament, then maybe you play 2 times in one weekend, make it to the Sweet 16, and Trent Forrest is fresh as can be.
By the way, just a reminder, just because I know many are fretting, and basketball, you can only do so much. We talk up the basketball, and again, we're going to have Leonard Hamilton on at the bottom of the hour. I was going back through, thinking about football, thinking about how things are going to be okay. Offensive line, you signed, 5 signees, a graduate transfer in this class, and more transfers, I was reading this morning, are considered to be a possibility. That is going to be a case in terms, and they really do believe they're going to get maybe 2 more. Mm-hmm. Okay. What was the number we threw out there, Tom, before the start of this? 9? 8 to 10?
Yeah, 8 I thought would be fine. You know, when you add in the redshirt kids from last year, now you've got...
Well, if you add in the redshirt kids from last year, then you're over 10.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want 8 new bodies. I mean, wish Putnam came, but, you know, it's over now.
Got to win games.
Yeah, for kids like that to choose for you instead of Clemson.
That's right. Kids do care about whether or not you can win some football games. And if that happens, then all of a sudden, you get a Putnam. You get somebody like that. So, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Special for $5 from the folks who brought you Metro Deli. The Deck Pizza Pub is now downtown Tallahassee's spot for pizza and craft brews and cocktails. We'll see you there on Saturday.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
Recently, I've seen a lot of commercials from attorneys and public adjusters trying to cash in on the hurricane damages to your home or business. Using these individuals could result in a reduction in your insurance claim reimbursement. As a licensed roofing and general contractor, we know how to navigate insurance claims so that you don't have to share your reimbursement with an attorney or a public adjuster. If you have questions, give us a call. Our advice is free. Turning your claim over to an attorney or a public adjuster is not.
Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
What's up, Eddie?
What's up, Jeff?
You know, buddy, that I like archaeology, right?
Yeah. I'm quite an anarchist myself.
Right. Well, anyhow, do you know what they find the world over when they excavate? You know the item they find the most of?
I don't know, rocks?
Freaking bowls.
Bowls?
Bowls everywhere. In Rome proper, right? Bowls upon bowls upon bowls.
That's very interesting.
What's the high school over in Jacksonville, the one with all the good football players?
Bowls?
Right.
What are you getting at here, Jeff?
Mo used what to cut his hair?
I don't know, Jeff. What is a bowl?
Boom. A bowl indeed.
Hey, that gives me an idea.
Really?
We should have bowls here at Gordo's. We can do all kinds of bowls. We can do chicken bowls, fish bowls. We can do steak bowls, pork bowls, veggie bowls. Brilliant. I'm a genius. Jeff? Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. Look around. That's right, you see Nissans everywhere. Tallahassee is officially a Nissan town, a Kraft Nissan town. Why? Because Kraft Nissan has the best pricing, the best selection, and the best buying experience in town. And at Kraft Nissan, you get the best value for your dollar. With more standard features, our exclusive and the original lifetime warranty, our easy choice menu that gives you a price and payment in writing, our new For You program that helps people with damaged credit. And now, till the end of the month, 2 years or 20,000 miles of complimentary maintenance with every new car purchase, plus $1,000 over book value for your trade. Best of all, my people are the best in the business. They will greet you with a smile and a handshake, and they will know your time is valuable. My managers are always accessible, and of course, you can always ask for me or my brother Peter. Bottom line, if you need a new or pre-owned car, you need to experience the Kraft difference. Great people, great product, great price, with the best car buying experience in town. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. And remember, if you don't see the Kraft tag on your car, you paid too much, way too much.
Hey guys, Valentine's Day is next week, and this year you can love big and save big with Sherry's Berries. Yeah, you get the best of both worlds, a great gift for your sweetheart and a sweetheart deal for you. For just $19.99 plus shipping, watch the love light up in her eyes when you send delicious dipped Valentine's strawberries from Sherry's Berries. Delicious berries dipped in dark, white, and milk chocolatey goodness, then covered in decadent toppings. Only from Sherry's Berries. All for just $19.99 plus shipping. And right now, you can add a dozen red roses to those amazing dipped berries for another $19.99. Shipped together at no extra charge. That's Sherry's Berries for only $19.99 plus shipping and a dozen red roses for just $19.99 more. The only way to get this amazing deal is to go to berries.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, and use code 3737. That's berries.com, click on the mic, enter code 3737. Berries.com, code 3737.
After 40 years as Florida State Baseball's head coach, Mike Martin Sr. is making this his final season. Join all of us here at Garnet and Gold as we celebrate the farewell tour for the winningest coach in college baseball history with limited edition commemorative baseballs, t-shirts, and caps in stock right now. And while you're here, check out Nike's hot new line of FSU baseball jerseys, tees, and ball caps. Garnet and Gold with 3 locations, West Pensacola Street, Collard, and Governor Square Boulevard. If you're a Seminole, we're your store. Shop local and go Noles.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Congratulations to the ladies who told NC State to get some last night, huh? Noles now 20-3, 8-2 in the ACC. Good job, Coach Sue. As always, they defeat, in this case, top 10 NC State, who's 21-2, 8-2 in the ACC. That score 75-70. Woohoo! And this after a shaky start to the game. Noles trailed 11-2, and you thought, oh, well, going to be an ugly night. But then 8-0 run in the second quarter, and the comeback was on, and eventually the Noles win this thing.
Would you like to see the men's game move to quarters versus halves?
Yeah, I like quarters.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I do like it. By the way, I didn't something weird happened in this game. I was reading about a sequence near the end of the game with 48 seconds to play. FSU up 72-67, a couple of free throws. Later, NC State pressured on an inbounds pass. I'm reading from the game article. Pressed to pass. I guess it got fouled and went to the line, hit her first free throw. Wolfpack coach Wes Moore protested by holding up his hand, apparently indicating 5. The official went over to him, but she eventually allowed Wolfpack to shoot her second free throw. Wolfpack's free throws gave the Noles a 74-67 lead. However, Moore kept protesting. Eventually, the officials realized their error. I guess there was they got the fouls wrong.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
they didn't count their fouls.
Yeah, and then they did it wrong, and they took points off the board, and the Noles changed the sequence, and it got real weird.
So I didn't catch it. So the bonus was wrong. We weren't in the bonus yet, or they had some other shooting versus on the floor, or
it was only the 4th foul of the quarter against NC State.
Okay.
Yeah. So
the bonus would be different in quarters. Yeah. That's true.
So they screwed it up.
Okay, but they admitted it.
Yeah, after the free throws. Yeah, so you're kind of like.
But they had to take the points off the.
Yeah,
but they,
it's the right thing. It's just kind of don't screw it up to begin.
Other college officials could learn from that though, instead of doubling down.
It's I don't know when was the last. Oh, I guess Florida State Duke, right? Florida State Duke. Did we have? I mean, there's never been a basketball game where you didn't diskagree with a call. That's the nature of the
that
calls
game
in the
didn't
game.
have. I mean,
but it was damn perfect, right? I remember walking out of there thinking, "Thank you."
And there was some physicality in the lane, but you understood. Like if you got bumped, you're like, well, they're not calling it, man.
We're playing ball here, man.
Yeah.
And tomorrow's game needs to be that way.
I think a lot of fans, not all fans, but I think a lot of fans, especially if you're in the building, they'll be pretty fair about this kind of stuff. Like, it was like, well, they're not calling it. I think fans are pretty attuned to
You just want consistency. That's all you really want. How are we playing it? And you really, I would think 9 times out of 10, you want to err on the side of letting them play. I mean, that's just what we say.
But when
it's got to be egregious.
Speaking of NC State, when you see a game like we played in football this year on the road, and every time we breathe near someone, it's pass interference, and yet the other way around, my God. Yeah, you can grab somebody's arm when he's flying open down the field and there's no flag. That's when it drives you a little batty.
Yeah, I'm by and large, I let officials slide for a lot of things, especially because I know they have a very, very, very difficult job. But at the same time, yeah, you have to be consistent, A, in the way that you call it across the board, and then B, just stylistically, if you decided that you're going to call it close to the vest, set the tone early, let it be known, and then be consistent from there. But it doesn't really matter just as long as whatever you've decided you're doing on that day, you stay consistent.
Okay, 2013, Florida State, down in Gainesville.
Oh, it was
football.
the best.
Yeah.
We were getting, poor Kelvin Benjamin is getting yanked all over the place and then finally goes, okay, so apparently we're allowed to just throw each other around? Well, I'm really big and he's not. I'll throw him into the stands and make catches every time.
I'm sure our crack researcher for basketball, FSU basketball, Dave, would correct me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like the tournament last year was pretty well officiated. The Missouri game didn't matter. It didn't matter how you line that up. We were going to beat them.
Ass.
But I felt like the next 2 games, our next 2 wins, it was pretty even-handed. And I don't remember a ton of whistles.
I don't remember being feeling cheated.
Yeah.
I don't remember
or
feeling
like,
cheated.
God, this game's taking
Are
forever.
we ever gonna,
yeah.
Oh, if you're only going to cite ugliness, you would do it for the Michigan game. Just it was played in the style they wanted to play. It was an ugly game. Oof. It was actually kind of a minor miracle that you had 2 big shots.
That Kofor has the ball with a chance of tying the game. I mean, could you imagine if we stole that? Well, we would have played the title game. We would have beaten Sister Jean.
Yeah, we would have. But
beat her senseless.
So that's what we do.
The Fighting Sister Jean.
Get you
I'm
some
talking
of that
about.
Sister Jean.
Yeah.
No, but there would have been the and if Savoy's shot goes down, the open 3, you're like that changes everything. There were 2 moments where you thought if either one of these go down,
yeah.
But what are you going to do? Leonard Hamilton going to join us here in just a few moments. Actually, that's why this segment is short. We wanted to be, we wanted to clear everything for when he called in. He'll join us momentarily. Florida State, Louisville tomorrow. Coach Hamilton next. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
For me.
However,
if it was only for professional ball players, that'd be fine. But it's not.
John's son, Dr. Tommy John III, says too many kids are getting injured like his father.
There was a trend coming in where I was dealing with injuries in 50, 60, and 70-year-old clients. The degenerative wear and tear that comes from life, I was seeing in these kids at 10, 11, 12 years old.
The discussion is part of Dr. John's new book, Minimize Injury, Maximize Performance, a Sports Parent Survival Guide. And that is a Bloomberg Business of Sports report. I'm Michael Barr.
At CDW, we get that wireless printing can leave your network vulnerable.
That's why I never take my eyes off our printers. I haven't blinked all day.
That's gotta itch.
No, it's more of a burning sensation.
Well, CDW would orchestrate a solution featuring HP LaserJet Enterprise printers to help you protect your network with reliable automated print security.
Can I blink again?
You sure can. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/HP Print Security.
If you're worried about your cholesterol, hear how others are taking charge with Garlic.
My doctor said my cholesterol was borderline, but I've been taking Garlic, and it works.
I've been taking Garlic for years.
My pharmacist recommended Garlic. He said there's an ingredient in garlic that helps maintain healthy cholesterol.
I take Garlic every day. No garlic breath. Lots of people like you are choosing Garlic to help maintain a healthy cholesterol. Garlic, it's cholesterol's natural enemy. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Hey, Jeff Cameron here, and it's the new year. What's your New Year's resolution? Well, if you're planning on being healthier, it starts with a good night's rest. You've heard me talk about the tossing and turning I was doing before, but now I wake up feeling great. It's amazing what a difference a good pillow makes. MyPillow had an amazing offer of a 4-pack special. It was such a rare deal at the time, but the good news is this. They've extended their very best offer ever. That's right. Go to MyPillow.com right now. Click on their end-of-the-year special, and here's what you'll find. The lowest price MyPillow has ever offered for their 4-pack, and it includes free shipping. Gets better. Their 60-day money-back guarantee has been extended through March the 1st. Best price ever, free shipping, extended money-back guarantee. What else do you need? Go get it. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the end-of-the-year special, enter my promo code, that's key, 979ESPN, and you'll get 2 premium MyPillows, 2 go-anywhere pillows. Nothing better than a restorative night of rest. Go to MyPillow.com to get it and enter my promo code 979ESPN.
Can't we all get along?
Blue Cheer Bay Rum presents Kenny Chesney, Songs for the Saints Tour.
No shit.
Friday, April 26th, Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. With special guests David Lee Murphy and Caroline Jones. Tickets on sale now at TuckerCivicCenter.com. Produced by Messina Touring Group and AEG presents.
Valentine's Day is right around the corner. The question is, what gift are you getting for the one you love? We get it. It's not easy. Love is a dangerous game. Thankfully, though, guaranteed wins exist at Hellsberg Diamonds. Right now, save $400 on the half-carat total weight diamond heart pendant, only $299.99. This Thursday, February 14th, show Cupid who's boss. Be the hero on Valentine's Day and give a gift from Hellsberg Diamonds.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. Celtics president Danny Ainge not worried when it comes to Kyrie Irving re-signing with the team this summer. Ainge told 98.5 The Sports Hub the Celtics remain confident Irving will remain in Boston come July 1. Irving has sent some mixed messages this season when it comes to his future. In October, he seemed to indicate he'd re-sign, and then last week he appeared to be a little less committed, telling reporters to ask him July 1st. Superstar center Anthony Davis remains with the Pelicans as the team opted not to move him before the trade deadline. Instead, we'll look to trade him this summer, and that makes things a little awkward in New Orleans, notes ESPN NBA analyst Tom Thibodeau.
Now they have to deal with the aftermath, and that's not an easy thing to deal with. So, but Anthony is a very high character guy, and I think once he does play, I think he'll be fine, but it's not an easy situation to be in.
Davis out the last 9 games with an injured finger, expected to return tonight versus the Timberwolves, 9:30 Eastern, ESPN TV and the ESPN app. Baseball looks like the Indians will be without all-star shortstop Francisco Lindor to start the season. Lindor suffered a strained calf while recently working out. The team anticipates he'll be sidelined up to 9 weeks, and that would put his return sometime in early April. Cleveland opens up the regular season on March 28th. Speaking at the end of an owners' meeting, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred said that management is focused on pace of game changes for 2019 and that larger issues such as expanding the DH to the National League, too complicated to be put into place for this season. Those will be for talks to determine in the next collective bargaining agreement. The current CBA expires at the end of the 2021 season.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
And away we go. Welcome in, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. What a nice run, right? What a nice run. Tomorrow, Florida State will hope to continue that run, winners of 4 straight. And, of course, we talked about it earlier in the week as Florida State stomped Syracuse 80-62. In large part, the engineer of that dominating performance joins us now on the program. head coach Leonard Hamilton. Hey, Coach.
Hello, Jeff. How you doing?
I couldn't be better. So I know you never panic, but we're talking to everybody here, and you know how quickly fans like to panic. When you're 1-4, you're thinking what? And now that you're 5-4, your thoughts are what?
In the first place, no, you're right. I'm not real sure my nature is to panic. That's not. If you do that as a basketball coach, then you won't be coaching very long. But we were not very healthy. I had 2 of those games. 3 of my stars didn't practice at all, and it's kind of hard to go out and be on top of your game when you don't practice.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we played Virginia's number 1 in the country. Duke's was number 1 in the country, and they're very good basketball teams. And I thought we didn't play well against Virginia, and they are better than us at that. They were much better than we were at that particular time, and I thought we were solid against Duke, but we came away without a victory. And then, it's not as easy to play games with one-day turnarounds, and we had 2 of them during that period. Not to make excuses, but you asked me why I didn't panic, because we were just going through the same period that everybody else in the league probably would go through, except that was our time. And I think we have a pretty good basketball team. We've shown that we have potential, but we still are growing. We're not hitting on all cylinders now. We're getting better. We're probably about 70% there. I think we got another 35% of improvement that we still can make. And I had 5 new guys that I was trying to rotate into our system. And if I had 7 guys I was playing, I probably could be a little more efficient. But in order for us to be successful over the long haul, I have to integrate more players that's willing to execute our system. We had 5 new guys, a freshman, a couple of red shirts, a transfer, and they still were adjusting somewhat. And then Phil Kofer, my leading scorer, was recovering from a 7-week stress fracture. So we just had some moving parts, and I recognize the fact that we just need some time to get it together. Now, we're not totally home free yet. We're not out of the wolves yet. We still got some catching up we got to do, but in our business, sometimes it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I think we're getting better, Jeff, but we still have a ways to go in a lot of areas. We went on the road at Boston College and Pittsburgh, and we made 5 of 45 threes. Then the last 4 games we played, Jeff, I think we're shooting 44% from 3. Now, we didn't get a whole lot better in that short period of time. I think that just says a little bit about your kids have to mature, they got to play with confidence, and sometimes when you're going through it your first time around, you don't develop that confidence. It's not as easy as what you think it is. Now, I'm not real sure we're a 44% three-point shooting team, but I don't think we were a 10 or 15% shooting team as well. We're somewhere, I'm sure, in the middle, and I think that we'll level ourselves off, but I think we had a lot of moving parts, and we, at that point, we were not hitting on all cylinders, and we still got some ways to go. So we're working at it. I think we're going to get better, and hopefully that we can end up having a real good season. This team definitely has the potential to do so.
You'll surely take 11 of 22 from beyond the arc anytime you can get it, especially on the road. And and what was that, 6 of 6 from Terrence Mann and Kabengele. So and then MJ Walker got off to such a great start. Speaking of MJ Walker, I know he's still so young in his maturation process, and you get a kid of that caliber in recruiting. And fans think he's going to come in, and they think everybody's going to be a one and done when they see the stars next to a kid's name. But you and I have had this conversation before. Not every kid's built the same way. It takes time. Most kids take a lot of time to get to where they can fulfill that promise. Assess where he's at in his game, because we see glimpses of the skill set, of the athleticism, of the ability to knock down shots with confidence. And then he goes through stretches, like a lot of guys do, where he struggles in those areas. Your thoughts on where he's at?
Well, I have been so proud of MJ. He has turned into a real potential defensive stopper. He's our pickup guy, and he got off to maybe inconsistent shooting start, but his defense was outstanding. And then he bumped his knee in a game. He was out 2 games, and then he came down with the flu.
Right.
You know, it's just things that young people go through, and now you see him. He's healthy, and he's not sick, and he's playing better. And I think he's going to be a superstar for us before his career's over. But what has happened is the one and done world that we live in, people realistically don't quite understand what that's about. You only have 20 positions available for kids to go to the NBA every year. We got about 6,000 kids playing college basketball, and every one of them think they're on their way to the NBA. And then the media and the hype that goes along with it, and the exposure these kids get. So, but I want to remind people, only 20 kids a year, and have them play in the D League. But it's something to talk about. So, but I'm pleased with MJ. He's doing a great job. He's settling in. He's a great teammate. He's a hard worker, and I think his future is very bright at Florida State.
Is Fiondu an emerging superstar from your perspective? It's hard not to feel the hype from over here, obviously, especially with that outside shot coming along the way it does. But he's an amazing player, Coach, and we're all worried that he's going to leave.
Well, I'm not going to speak to that because I'm not going to buy into that, but I do think he's getting better and better, and there's no doubt that his future is very bright. I think he understands where he is, and I think if in time he's going to develop into a player that's going to be one that we're going to enjoy watching and coaching here at Florida State. He's really done a very good job for us. He's, right now he's such an emotional, aggressive youngster that we have to be careful how we utilize him. He's fouled out of 5 games. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the reasons why we bring him off the bench, just let him settle down, let the referees who's trying to establish the game early in the game, let them get those calls out of the way. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. But, no, he's doing a very good job. He's a great teammate, and I'm very pleased with him.
You smiled the other night when you were asked about Terrence Mann after the Tuesday game, and his health, was part of was his health part of the question there? Or are we to take away that he's starting to come around now from that heel injury? He looks a lot better. Well,
he struggled there for a minute, with a bruised heel, and it's kind of hard to play basketball without your feet. It's a little challenging how you land and how you start, and when your feet are hurting, it's kind of hard to not think about it, when you're stopping and starting to change direction. But here again, I don't want to make no excuses. Everybody goes through it. We had all hours at one time. Hopefully we smooth those things out, and hopefully we won't have any more for the remainder of the year. But I'm very pleased with Terrence. I mean, he always seemed to step up for us when the game's on the line.
We obviously know you're already on to Louisville. It's time to talk about Louisville, and hopefully we obviously see this as a sold-out game and a great opportunity, and that's what they are. They're opportunities, again, to prove maturation, to prove where you're at during a given season. I do want to ask you about one more thing, and I'll let you go, regarding the big Syracuse win. I go back. A couple things really stood out to me here, Coach. You called timeout up 18 in the first half, which I loved, and I wanted to get your thoughts on that. But moreover, when you look at this game, I go back and I think about a lot of things. I think about who was on the floor in the second half, and I think about how frequently it was that our guys executed against the zone, had the right guys with the ball at the right spots, helped, obviously, that we hit threes, but we were really good in the second half with ball movement, and then when they extended pressure, it seemed like we got layups and dunks. This was a game where it looked like not only did you guys have them on point from a coaching standpoint, of course that's what you do, but also that they had a great understanding of how to execute.
Execution was very good. We were locked in. We had a game plan, and the guys stuck with it, and that shows a little bit about how they're maturing.
Yeah, they've come a long way, Coach. It was beautiful to watch, and hopefully we'll see it again on Saturday. Obviously, I look forward to covering it and seeing you guys play. And as always, I appreciate your time. Best of luck, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
All right, buddy.
All right, take care. That's head coach Leonard Hamilton. Obviously, Florida State taking on Louisville. We'll be at the deck at 2 o'clock-ish, somewhere around there. Obviously, for a 4 o'clock tip, you can get there maybe even earlier. I think Tom's going to be there about 8 a.m.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And so
I'm going to be tailgating outside of the doors before they open at 11 a.m. That's right. And if you're listening to the court report right now, we're already there. So
we're
please,
hanging out. Make it happen.
on.
Yeah. Coach is a trip. Oh, man.
He doesn't, he poo-pooed the idea about Fiondu. He's like, well, I'm not going to get into that.
No, we're not talking about that.
I think he's going to be a player we'll be proud to coach here at Florida State for a while.
Which was a great answer, and I sure hope he's right because, my goodness gracious, has he emerged? Yes. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Where have you gone?
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Spot for pizza and craft brews and cocktails. We'll see you there on Saturday.
Hey, this is FAMU beat writer Rory Chirac. Join me Friday at 6 p.m. for the Rattler Review. We're talking all things FAMU. Great interviews with players, coaches, and alumni. The Rattler Review, Fridays at 6 p.m. right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio, Tallahassee Sports Monster.
At Township and College Town, for the table, by the people is not just lip service, it's their mantra. Tallahassee's largest beer hall offers drafts served in steins and a unique twist on upscale pub fare. Just walk up and order for the table and grab a seat by the people. Some you may not even know. If you're looking for a more intimate gathering, Township offers The Garden, a unique setting to Tallahassee complete with outdoor fireplace and a retractable awning. Oh, and let's not forget the 32 taps and private bar. Book it for your next party or company event. Township Tallahassee, 619 Woodward Avenue in Collegetown.
Hey guys, Valentine's Day is next week, and this year you can love big and save big with Sherry's Berries. Yeah, you get the best of both worlds, a great gift for your sweetheart and a sweetheart deal for you. For just $19.99 plus shipping, watch the love light up in her eyes when you send delicious dipped Valentine's strawberries from Sherry's Berries. Delicious berries dipped in dark, white, and milk chocolatey goodness, then covered in decadent toppings. Only from Sherry's Berries. All for just $19.99 plus shipping. And right now, you can add a dozen red roses to those amazing dipped berries for another $19.99. Shipped together at no extra charge. That's Sherry's Berries for only $19.99 plus shipping and a dozen red roses for just $19.99 more. The only way to get this amazing deal is to go to berries.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, and use code 3737. That's berries.com, click on the mic, enter code 3737. Berries.com, code 3737.
Hi, this is David. Listen up. Deep South Kawasaki in Thomasville has excess 2019 side-by-side inventory, and it must go. Deep South Kawasaki is currently offering a 2019 Mule SX 4x4 for only $67.99. That's $700 less than the original MSRP of $74.99. Yes, that's right. Only $67.99 for a 2019 Mule SX 4x4. Supplies are limited, so don't miss out. Deep South Kawasaki is located on US 19 South in Thomasville.
Did you know that 75% of high school seniors are accepted to their first choice college, but only about 50% of their parents can afford to send them? We have a plan for that. With a Florida prepaid college plan, you can start saving for as little as $47 a month. We offer a variety of affordable, flexible college plans to fit your budget and saving style. And you will never lose your investment because prepaid plans are guaranteed by the state of Florida. Enroll today at myfloridaprepaid.com because starting is believing.
The Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Big store pricing with local service. Online at ctf.nu.
Let's take inventory here. A couple of things to tell you about. First and foremost, don't forget tonight is Rattler Review, great show with my friend Rory Chirac, who does a very good job of covering Florida A&M. Is Coach Simmons on with him? Did you tell me that?
Yes. Rory's a Mets fan, first of all, so we suffer together. But Willie Simmons will be on to talk about the recruiting class, National Signing Day, and how FAMU pulled in terms of the MEAC conference and where they stand. So it should be an interesting sit-down with Coach Simmons.
I had a good talk with Rory yesterday. We were having a conversation about Florida A&M and about how good that first year was, but how it gets lost in the shuffle because of how poor it ended. And, you know, if you reverse how that season goes...
Oh, you feel so much better.
I mean, my goodness gracious. But either way, if you're somebody that has followed Florida A&M football over the last 5 to 7 years, you got to be kind of elated with what just happened there.
You know, they're an offsides call away from
You
probably
really
scoring
are still pissed about that call. I know the guy was part of the play.
He was the one who made the sack. And it was like he looked like he was blown by Juwan Williams, but there was a reason for that because he was over the line and not just a little bit smoky. I mean, that would be like heel to toe all the way over the line.
He was basically over the line in the same way your boy for Kansas City was on the interception against Brady.
Oh, God.
I mean, halfway. I mean, what are we doing here?
It was and 2 plays in a row.
Well, and think about this, too, and at least as it pertains to the Kansas City-New England game. I know every year when the Patriots go back to the Super Bowl, there's an article that is written that says, well, yeah, they've been great, but if you really look at it, and then they'll throw a series of plays that had it gone the other way, they're not in the Super Bowl, they lose the Super Bowl, whatever it is. Again this year, man, I mean, goodness, that's an interception.
Yeah.
The game is over.
Yep.
And nothing the Patriots did in that moment caused him to be offsides. He was a dumbass who just lined up way offsides. That's not the Patriot mystique. That's not a Bill Belichick call. That's not Brady being Brady. That's pure luck.
Yeah, all the way back to the birth of the whole thing, which was the Tuck rule. John Gruden wins the Super Bowl in Oakland, and who knows what the hell happens
to the balance of power.
I'm glad that
happened the way that it did, though, Tom. That was the right thing to happen. We needed that to happen in Tampa Bay.
And maybe it didn't at one point, and somebody traveled back in time, and they made sure.
Changed it all up.
Yes, and I'm thankful to that person.
Yeah. Did you, what was the show with your boy that went on to be the, well, now he's in.
Quantum Leap.
That's correct.
Is that it?
Yeah. Loved Quantum Leap.
Oh, my God.
Well, that's the only show that dealt with all the time travel stuff.
Yeah, but the Your Boy part I thought was going to be more modern, so I just took a guess.
Quantum Leap was incredible.
Wow.
I never missed it, and yet couldn't remember the name of it. But anyhow, Quantum Leap was great. Didn't you like Quantum Leap?
I watched it with my parents when
show.
I was little, and there was a cross-dressing one because he was a woman, and he had the makeup on and stuff.
Oh, those crazy cross-dressing guys.
Well, it freaked me out as a kid. I was like, this show is scary. I don't know what this is about.
Well, that was like a running gag that could get America laughing for the better part of 70 years.
Yeah.
It's just to have a dude in a dress and oh my God, the hysterics.
Yeah, I got it by the time I was 8 because that show was around when I was really little. And everything, all of those shows like Full House and
just dress a dude
Family
up
Matters
in a dress.
and Fresh Prince.
Tonight, well, not tonight. Tonight's Rattler Review. Speak, Jeff, speak. I was going to say tonight, but I meant to say tomorrow is when you'll be able to hear the court report with you and me.
That's correct. And we'll have that full disclosure because we're going to be at the deck having a good time, getting ready for this game.
Going to be recorded. We're going in the morning and recording that puppy.
Correct.
I don't have to do that right before tip-off. Nothing's changing. We're going to get in here early in the morning, you and I, over coffee, do the court report. Should be a lot of fun. I look forward to it. Then we'll make our way for the lunchtime bonanza there at the deck, and then we'll go watch Florida State Louisville.
So check your podcast feed for you digital listeners outside of the market around lunchtime, and you should have it there. And then for everybody else, we're going to run that bad boy beginning at 2 o'clock. As you make your way to downtown in the deck, man, we want to get you when you're in the car, not when you get out of the car and are walking up to the Civic Center. So 2 o'clock tomorrow, the court report will air right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Damn Skippy. Here's some cool things to kind of consider. Tokyo Olympic organizers say they expect to collect enough obsolete electronic devices by the end of March to reach that amount that will be required to manufacture all Olympic and Paralympic medals.
Oh, that's cool.
The Tokyo 2020 Olympics open in just over 500 days. I'm not ready for the Olympics. Thank God it's over 500 days away. I'm not really worried about it.
500, so that's a Summer Olympics. Okay.
and all metals will be made from discarded smartphones, digital cameras, and handheld games and laptops. Bravo, society. Bravo, people.
So, Nintendo
Bravo,
DS,
humanity.
the defunct
We figured
DS, or,
or
the
Wii.
PS Vista.
Or the Wii.
Yeah, I'm just
Wii
talking about the
U.
handheld.
No, but I'm particularly angry about the Wii U.
Yeah, that was kind of a needless middle step.
Short-lived. Bought
Well,
it. Had to have it.
Listen, and if you have to have it, you go to Games for Less right there on Appalachian
my
Parkway.
Man. Games for Less,
and
indeed.
he'll hook you up. But it's kind of like this Xbox One S thing. Like, it's good for 4K.
Yeah.
But who the hell is using
Nobody's
4K?
recording. Listen, every time I go to any place that you fall in love with, which is a place that has new televisions, any of them, I walk in. Any of them is right. I walk in and I see something to behold, something that needs to be in my living room, something that I say, my God, would you look at how far we've come as a people? Look at this. And I want to buy it right then and there. And my wife goes, no. And I go, no, one of these days, woman, I'm just going to buy that television. There will be no stopping me. Bull in a china shop. You just walk on down over there and do what you got to do. I'm taking this TV to the car. So, anyhow, until that day comes.
On your back,
Well, the TV, yes.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a weird the timing.
Well, I mean, you couldn't carry. I mean, you don't want a little TV. You want a massive television.
90 inches.
So how are you going to carry that on your back?
Oh, I'm going to have the other person carry it out to my car on their back or on a dolly of some sort. That's how I'm going to do it. But it doesn't matter. The point is, it's going to be in my car. We're going to be celebrating the day that happens. By the way, the day that does happen, you're getting a call like, come over, look at this thing. Look at this thing. But where was I going with that? Oh, TVs, right? 4K. Every time I go in there, they have something on in 4K because they want you to buy the television. So it's like the one thing they have in 4K, and you go, my God, and then you realize it will not look like that at my house because nothing's in 4K.
It was like when they had HD DVDs of The Matrix and Gladiator for the first HD television.
That's right.
And Gladiator was always, remember with the sand coming up and you see the reflection of the guy's mask and all that stuff.
Pretty badass.
It is pretty amazing. But when it comes to video games, like, it's still animation, so why do I care to see that in 4K?
You don't need to,
It's like Toy Story in 4K. I'm like, well, what difference does that make?
Makes no difference.
It's still Pixar.
But I will tell you, the day they start filming, say, PGA Tour at Pebble Beach in 4K.
The first time I saw golf in HD.
Oh, blown away.
If I think about it too much, I still cry.
Get a little misty-eyed. That and hockey.
Yeah, hockey was big time.
Just the ice, just to see the ice for the first time. I felt like that was the first time you ever saw the ice, other than live. But, I mean, that was it, right?
And you know who does a great job of that is, and they should because they're national, but the NBC cameras.
Unbelievable.
Because you can see the little puddles that form.
It's crazy how good it is. Yeah, it's awesome. Anyhow, so that's true. The Tokyo 2020 Olympics will have medals made from discarded smartphones, digital cameras, and handheld games and laptops, which is really good news. Good job, guys. Good job. Because we have so many piles around the world of electronics.
Here's your gold medal that used to be a Digimon pet, the virtual pet, that if you didn't walk him, he'd pee all over the virtual rug.
MyPillow.com 4-pack special. Roll on, Big River. Make it happen now. Money back guarantee is intact. Wash them. Dry them. Doesn't matter. All 4 of those suckers. The Go Anywhere pillows and the 2 My Pillows. You're all set. And free shipping. Just use my promo code. Go to MyPillow.com. Promo code 979ESPN. MyPillow.com. Promo code 979ESPN.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Jeep Wranglers in stock. We've never been able to offer such unbelievable prices on Jeep Wranglers, and with over 50 in stock, they all must go. Buy one for as low as $29,900 or save up to $5,600 on in-stock vehicles. The all-new 2019 Ram 1500 is Motor Trend Truck of the Year, and it's breaking all kinds of records. We have over 80 Ram 1500s in stock with up to $11,000 off MSRP. You can't go wrong. Motor Trend Truck of the Year and up to $11,000 off MSRP. It's the deal of the year. There's only one place to go. Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat on the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle. We're right on the corner and always right on the price. Or visit us on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. Dealer retains all rebates and incentives plus tax, tag, and dealer fee.
I give to you easy laundry service from my friends at Wash Around the Clock. Oh, buddy, this is a game changer. If you're like me, your life is hectic. Between work, school, your kids' sporting events and activities, well, it leaves you precious little time to kick back and take a load off. About the last thing you want to do is hours of laundry, but there it sits, staring at you, taunting. No more. That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with easy laundry service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's easy laundry service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Are you ready to experience an awesome fishing expedition? Sea Quarters Marina is home to several great charter services. All charters are customized based upon the types of fishing opportunities available and the type of fishing the customer requests. The Northwest Gulf Coast offers a variety of different angling adventures thanks to unspoiled back county islands and crystal clear flats. For more information regarding charters, call Sea Quarters Marina at 697-8400 or online at seaquartersmarina.com.
You started a DIY project at home. Then you realize convenience isn't always easy. The why in DIY doesn't mean, why is this so hard? At ADT, we DIFY, do it for you. We customize and install a secure smart home that you control from the palm of your hand or the sound of your voice. Smart security, designed and installed just for you with ADT. Visit ADT.com/smart to learn more. License information available at ADT.com. ADT, real protection.
Driving every day from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. Celtics president Danny Ainge not worried when it comes to Kyrie Irving re-signing with the team this summer. Ainge told 98.5 The Sports Hub the Celtics remain confident Irving will remain in Boston come July 1. Irving has sent some mixed messages this season when it comes to his future. In October, he seemed to indicate he'd re-sign, and then last week he appeared to be a little less committed, telling reporters to ask him July 1st. Superstar center Anthony Davis remains with the Pelicans as the team opted not to move him before the trade deadline. Instead, we'll look to trade him this summer, and that makes things a little awkward in New Orleans, notes ESPN NBA analyst Tom Thibodeau.
Now they have to deal with the aftermath, and that's not an easy thing to deal with. So, but Anthony is a very high character guy, and I think once he does play, I think he'll be fine, but it's not an easy situation to be in.
Davis out the last 9 games with an injured finger, expected to return tonight versus the Timberwolves, 9:30 Eastern, ESPN TV and the ESPN app. Baseball looks like the Indians will be without all-star shortstop Francisco Lindor to start the season. Lindor suffered a strained calf while recently working out. The team anticipates he'll be sidelined up to 9 weeks, and that would put his return sometime in early April. Cleveland opens up the regular season on March 28th. Speaking at the end of an owners' meeting, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred said that management is focused on pace of game changes for 2019 and that larger issues such as expanding the DH to the National League, too complicated to be put into place for this season. Those will be for talks to determine in the next collective bargaining agreement. The current CBA expires at the end of the 2021 season.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Hour number 2 on this Libations Friday, and I appreciate you tuning to it. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. Young Matthew doing a great job directing today's show. You can email us if you like, JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. On Twitter, it's at JCameronShow. The WTSM app comes for your mobile devices. It says, hey, I'm here. Use me as an app. The way I'm meant to be used. Listen to the show on me.
Use me the way I'm meant to be used. Oh, man.
Hey, YouTubers. Hey, Periscopers. Chris Mack and Louisville on their way to Tallahassee, where you do not, you do not just stroll on into the TLC Double C and expect to walk away with victory.
That's not what you do.
No, sir. Now, Coach Mack is a good coach. He's done an exceptional job. And
Hashtag a-hole.
It's true. It feels that way, doesn't it? It may be that he's the nicest guy in the world, but it doesn't seem like it.
Hashtag a-hole.
He's done a good job of retooling the roster at Louisville and getting them to buy into what he does. And he's used a lot of different lineups. And they have had 9 different starters so far this season, all of whom have averaged at least 14 minutes per game. And while last year's team emphasized defense, they had that big front line. Well, this year's team loves the three-point shot. And it's bombs away. They've shot 42, almost 43% of their field goal attempts this year have been from beyond the arc. That is a lot of threes. A lot of threes.
Yeah.
We don't guard the three-point line all that well.
Might be an issue.
They're averaging almost 9 trays a game. They have 7 players shooting better than 34% from distance. So you're going to see some threes tomorrow, Tom.
And they have a
three-point barrage.
A snarky Anglo three-point shooter, and his name is a former center of ours, Ryan McMahon, and he was the one who took over against Virginia Tech for a stretch earlier this week.
Is he filled with snark?
The jersey might be a little oversized, and he might kick his legs out to draw a foul.
One of those guys.
Now, PJ does that for us in the defensive being honest and down the middle. But, this kid, he's one of those.
Here's where they are in the ACC as a team, not their snarky white guy, but the team. They are 4th in scoring at 78.8 points per game. 7th in field goal percentage, 5th in three-point field goal percentage, and number 1 from the free throw line. Those are good stats, Tom.
It's a detail sound.
But I will say this, they're even with FSU in a number of those categories. If you look at us, scoring, field goal percentage allowed, three-point field goal percentage allowed, rebounding margin, we're all right there with them. That's who we are, too. I know it doesn't always feel that way. But as the KenPom ratings will tell you, out of 353 Division I teams, they are 13th overall. We're 22nd. 15th in adjusted offense. FSU is 31st. Did you know that? They're 22nd in adjusted defense. FSU is 18th. And they're 246th in adjusted tempo. We're 92nd. We a little bit different. Contrasting styles, Tom Lang. Yeah, contrasting styles.
Tempo one is interesting because typically you associate, at least with modern metrics and analytics, three-pointers with tempo, right? You want more. You want more possessions. You want more three-pointers. If you're thinking along the lines of efficient shots outside of layups, it's three-pointers, and you want as many possessions as you can get. So I find that an interesting counterbalance in the way they go about playing the game of basketball.
So we could concede some baskets around the rim, and it's so funny to engage in that exercise and watch the reaction of fans because we struggle to get out on guys shooting threes because we're hell-bent on not giving anything up around the rim. But I think here you may want to change your point of emphasis. And in doing so, you could give up some layups. You could give up some dunks. And I will trade that to make sure that Louisville doesn't do what they've done against so many other teams, which is bombs away. Mm-hmm. And bombs away has a way of heartening teams on the road and disheartening teams who are on the wrong end of that barrage, as we just saw. And as we have done to others, right? I mean, you make some shots on the road from beyond the arc early because they're trying to prohibit you from slashing and getting to the rim. See Syracuse. You shoot them out of what they want to do, and then you've changed the game to your liking, and also you've created uncertainty. And I think that here you have to be real careful. They want to shoot the three. They want to shoot it and shoot it and shoot it some more. You got to take that away. And if that means giving up some shots around the rim and some easy baskets, I'll do that.
You've seen better defense out of us the last few games. And the Georgia Tech game was really a fun exhibition if you just watch our defensive film. But then you had to watch our offensive film because that's the game of basketball, and that was tough. But against Syracuse, too, you saw really good efforts on defense. Guys really facing up perimeter shooters, getting tough in the paint. You've seen a couple of outright blocked three-pointers, which is hard to do these days without drawing a foul. So it's a good test of seeing how far along we are defensively because the trend is in the positive direction. You're saying 18th in adjusted defense. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I don't think – maybe I'm wrong. Maybe 2-3 weeks ago, we're in the top 25. It feels like we've gotten much better as we've gotten healthier and a little bit more committed to it as we're not making shots. I think one of the good things to come out of having offensive struggles was we put an emphasis on defense.
Had to. It was the only way.
It was the only way we're going to win games. Mm-hmm. So the fruits of the labor. What does that look like against a team like this that can move the ball, that's athletic, and obviously it still has the remnants of Patino recruiting influence, which is good. Can you stay with him?
You know, it's interesting. If we win this game, you talk about the importance of this game. First of all, let me just say that I would encourage you to be at this game anyhow. I mean, I'm not a rep for Florida State per se, but this is going to be a really entertaining basketball game. It strikes me as such, much in the same way that the Duke game did for obvious reasons. We knew going into that Duke game that it was likely going to be a good game. We both picked Duke. Unfortunately, we turned out to be right in heartbreaking fashion. But we thought it would be an entertaining game. Oh, it was an entertaining game. We thought we'd play pretty well. We did play well. We got up for that game. We're great at home most nights anyhow. So all of that's true in this game. But I think when you look at the two teams on paper, it really does create a sense that this is going to come down to the wire. And so I think tomorrow's game is one you're going to want to be at, cheering on the home team, creating that atmosphere where we've been so good. And here's the deal. If you're able to win it, it would be your fifth in a row. Obviously, that's a hell of a run. We would move to 6-4 in the ACC. We'd be just one game back in the loss column behind Louisville, Syracuse, Va Tech. That's assuming those teams win this weekend. And that would put you within striking distance, frankly, of finishing in fourth place in the ACC. Now, I'm way ahead of myself here, but the reason I say that is over the last 8 games, we have an easier schedule than most. Now, there's some tough ones in there. Don't get me wrong. It is the ACC, after all. But we have an easier schedule than many of our cohorts in an effort to finish strong. If you are suddenly 6-4, I think there's strong evidence based on the schedule that you'll at least be 7-5, maybe 8-4 before those two games are concluded, or once those two games are concluded. So, listen, man, this is a big, big game. Not only is it another win potentially against a ranked opponent, but you're putting yourself in a position to finish amongst the upper echelon of the best conference in America.
Yeah, because of the schedule that you're talking about, yes. And I think the reason this game is going to be entertaining more than just the talent on the court is they're both battle-tested. Think about our schedule and what we gone through in the non-conference slate. We played a team like Duke at home, toe-to-toe. Came up just short. That hurt our feelings a little bit. But you go on the road to Syracuse and win a game like that, that's nothing to sneeze at. And if you look at Louisville's resume, I mean, they started out with a really tough non-conference schedule. They played Tennessee, Marquette, and Michigan State.
Oh, they're battle-tested big time.
In order. They played Kentucky. They played North Carolina twice. They won in Chapel Hill. They got served up in a loss last week at home as the Tar Heels repaid the favor. And then they played earlier this week Virginia Tech, and they were in command of that game the whole way through. Mm-hmm. So they're prepared for this moment. We're prepared for this moment. That leads to good results, man. If you're just looking for entertainment, you're going to get some.
We'll see you tomorrow at the deck before the game as we ready ourselves for a big-time clash in the ACC. Tens of thousands of customers choose Andro 400 every month. Andro 400 melts away stubborn belly fat, helps you lose excess pounds, increases energy and stamina. Stamina. You can say the word, Jeff. Increases muscle mass, strength, improves your mood. Andro 400, more importantly, is, maybe not more importantly, maybe as importantly, it's very affordable. So just as important.
On equal balance of importance. Yes.
90-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. Here you go. 888-510-9336. That's 888-510-9336. Or, this is easier to do, andro400.com. Coupon code Jeff. Coupon code Jeff. Not the old great coupon code, but the new, simple-to-remember coupon code Jeff, andro400.com.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
From the folks who brought you Metro Deli, the Deck Pizza Pub is now downtown Tallahassee's spot for pizza and craft brews and cocktails. We'll see you there on Saturday.
Okay, that ought to do it. Thanks, Jessica, for coming over and helping me declutter my home.
You're welcome. That's what friends are for. Ooh, check it out. I found some loose change in this corner.
That is the second time you have found some hidden treasures in my house.
Do you know you can find savings in every corner of your home?
Okay, I'm listening.
You can find savings from the city of Tallahassee. With their 5% interest financing for more than 25 energy-efficient appliances, measures, and systems, you can get a loan for things like outdoor lighting, floor, ceiling, and wall insulation, Energy Star reflective roofing, and even things like gas ranges, fire logs, and grills.
Wait, even on grills? I've been shopping around for a new gas grill. I had no idea, and with it getting even darker, I could use some outdoor lighting. It seems the City of Tallahassee's loan program may be the perfect solution.
Well, just be sure and invite me over the next time you grill.
Of course, that's what friends are for.
Take advantage of the City of Tallahassee's loan program and save energy, water, and money. Visit talgov.com to learn more. That's talgov.com for more information.
Wow, look at these roses. They're gorgeous.
Happy Valentine's Day, honey.
Oh, thank you. Guys, this Valentine's Day, you can order like a pro with gorgeous roses from Pro Flowers. She'll be thrilled when you surprise her with roses. And right now, you can get her a stunning bouquet of 1 dozen red roses with a free glass vase for $24.99 plus shipping and handling. Just go to proflowers.com, click the blue microphone, and enter secret code 2020. These gorgeous roses are guaranteed to stay fresh and beautiful for at least 7 days. Plus, pick a delivery date and it's guaranteed. Time is running out, so hurry to get 1 dozen red roses with a free glass vase starting at $24.99 plus shipping and handling. Beautiful flowers, amazing prices. You'll be a Valentine's Day pro. The only way to get this incredible deal is to go to proflowers.com, click the blue microphone in the upper right corner, and enter secret code 2020. That's proflowers.com, code 2020.
At Hardee's, we grew up. We stopped sleeping with our handmade nightlights and pacifiers. But there was one childhood classic we couldn't kick, the grilled cheese. So we made our grilled cheese grow up into a handsome bacon thick burger. Freshly toasted sourdough, melted Swiss, and American cheese with crispy applewood smoked bacon on 100% Black Angus beef. The grilled cheese bacon thick burger. Only available for a limited time because it's so grown up and it's very busy and has very little work-life balance.
Hardee's because it tastes better.
Available now for a limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants.
Valentine's Day is right around the corner. The question is, what gift are you getting for the one you love? We get it. It's not easy. Love is a dangerous game. Thankfully, though, guaranteed wins exist at Hellsberg Diamonds. Right now, save $400 on the half-carat total weight diamond heart pendant, only $299.99. This Thursday, February 14th, show Cupid who's boss. Be the hero on Valentine's Day and give a gift from Hellsberg Diamonds.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
So you see Jimbo's already losing coaches.
I wrote this song with the great Don Colvin.
Got a kind of a disconcerting thing to posit here.
Okay.
Go ahead and get nervous.
I liked it better with the easy breezy music and just thinking of Fred Couples' golf swing.
Well, you know, it's funny because I wish this would happen sooner rather than later, but I saw where A&M lost their offensive line coach, and I was like, damn it, because I just saw Coach departs A&M, and I thought, please let that be Mike Elko. You got to go. Get out of here.
Come on down, Elko.
Well, you know, that guy's going to be a head coach, right? And he is a freak of a coordinator, and everybody knows how good he is. I didn't know this. He's one of only a couple of coaches to have a top 50 defense 7 years in a row. He's not fooling around.
Whoa.
Yeah. So and last year, before the season, he interviewed for a head coaching job, the Temple job, if I remember correctly, and he just decided, this isn't going to be my first gig. I'm not doing Temple.
Right, and it's easy to flip. I mean, if you're going to go to A&M, you know, with your ability as Mike Elko,
yeah,
with the man in the mirror's ability, with kids like this, I'm going to be credited with another repair job and get a better head coaching gig.
Yeah, and so Jim Turner is the offensive line coach at Texas A&M for Jimbo Fisher, and we both know that Jim Turner, who, by the way, has churned out a ton of really good offensive linemen into the NFL, was a big part of that staff and thinking that, man, he's put together a good staff. Let's just put it that way. We knew that, right? Well, he's now going to the NFL, and the reason that happened is that Zach Taylor was a graduate assistant for Mike Sherman at Texas A&M in 2008, so he has A&M ties, right? He went to the Dolphins as an assistant quarterbacks coach, then worked his way up, became the Rams wide receivers coach, and then a quarterback coach the previous 2 seasons, and now he's the Cincinnati Bengals head coach. Okay, so he is the head man. He reached back and said, come on, Jim, I need you to be my offensive line coach. So Fisher loses his offensive line coach. Soon, I hope he loses Mike Elko, but that's just because I want that guy out of the college game if he's not going to work for us, meaning Elko. Now, here's the scenario.
Yep.
You know where I'm going.
Oh, yes, I do.
Well,
Houston, Texas is where you're going.
I'm putting it on the radar because what happens, and can you imagine the rage?
Oh, buddy.
If this happens, because they have FU money at A&M, and buyouts don't matter.
So if they want him, they got him.
Well, I'm just saying.
Unless he's loyal to Bryles.
Correct. And the money is no issue now. And so, my guys over there, hey, we got to button up, man. You got to have, and that's where being prepared matters. I mean, you got to have these things done because now you've got a player for a guy who's as well thought of in the state of Texas as there is, and money's not a problem for A&M. So I'm just...
Man, before this segment started, you said it was going to be a good one. Good news. This isn't good news.
I didn't say it would be good news. Nobody said anything about good news. I said to you, I got a good segment for us. And I didn't want to tell you what it was because I was going to posit this to you for the first time.
I heard it's good news.
No.
Am I crazy?
I did not say good news. I said it's a good segment.
You said good news? He says you said good news.
No, he didn't. I didn't say good news.
Good things are happening. Sorry, is what he just said.
Yes, because we do a talk show in which we're rewarded for having segments that are interesting.
I'm not in the business of calling Hiroshima awesome just because it sticks to the definition.
It does if we're having a larger discussion about the magnificence of that bomb. No. What I'm saying to you is this could be a real problem, man.
Way to screw with our Fridays.
Well, I'm telling you, I read the article about your boy leaving, and then I thought, okay, well, and I got to thinking.
You don't have to connect many dots. It's like the next dot. You're like, oh, shoot.
I went, hey, oh no. That's what I did. I went, well, that's, oh no. That's how that went.
At least Rick Trickett's available, right?
Can you imagine?
Would that be Jimbo's first phone call to Rick since he left here?
We could probably ask him. I think he's around town hanging out. It might have been.
Maybe he talked to him at, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think so.
Maybe I'm out of school here.
Can you imagine, though? Wow. I mean, that is something. Something to consider, unfortunately. And now I'm
it's
sorry.
Something for his agent to consider
Well,
and say, hey,
I'm just telling you,
guys.
What I'm telling you right now is that here we are going into the weekend, and a lot of you, upon hearing this conversation, just went, what? Wait, no way. Come on. Hopefully we're on the air and something happens where we go, fret not, friends. My final sign-off to you on this Friday is that Clemens has been hired. He'll have to go somewhere else, search somebody else's locker room.
Oh, Clemens time.
MyPillow.com, the website, 4-pack special. I don't think they're ever getting rid of the 4-pack special. Now, I'm not supposed to tell you that, but it seems like this thing, they know this is the seller. This is the one. This is the one that people want. And I get it because you get 2 MyPillows, and they're big, comfortable pillows, and then you also get the 2 Go Anywhere pillows, and it's money-back guarantee extended all the way through the March, plus free shipping. So you want to act now, but you got to use the promo code 979ESPN. Go to MyPillow.com, promo code 979ESPN. Again, you get the 4-pack special, 2 MyPillows, 2 Go Anywhere pillows, free shipping, money back guaranteed. Wash them, dry them. They don't lose their shape. You fall asleep faster. It's good stuff.
It's like 12 years ago. You don't walk into the Apple store asking for a vacuum cleaner. They're like, here's an iPod. Okay? This is what moves.
This is what
iPods
we do.
Move.
There you go. MyPillow.com, promo code 979 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men on a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Staring at you, taunting. No more. That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with Easy Laundry Service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's Easy Laundry Service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Valentine's Day is right around the corner. The question is, what gift are you getting for the one you love? We get it. It's not easy. Love is a dangerous game. Thankfully, though, guaranteed wins exist at Hellsberg Diamonds. Right now, save $400 on the half-carat total weight diamond heart pendant, only $299.99. This Thursday, February 14th, show Cupid who's boss. Be the hero on Valentine's Day and give a gift from Hellsberg Diamonds.
What's up, Eddie?
What's up, Jeff?
You know, buddy, that I like archaeology, right?
Yeah. I'm quite an anarchist myself.
Right. Well, anyhow, do you know what they find the world over when they excavate? You know the item they find the most of?
I don't know, rocks?
Freaking bowls.
Bowls?
Bowls everywhere. In Rome proper, right? Bowls upon bowls upon bowls.
That's very interesting.
What's the high school over in Jacksonville, the one with all the good football players?
Bowls?
Right.
What are you getting at here, Jeff?
Mo used what to cut his hair?
I don't know, Jeff. What is a bowl?
Boom. A bowl indeed.
Hey, that gives me an idea.
Really?
we should have bowls here at Gordo's. We can do all kinds of bowls. We can do chicken bowls, fish bowls. We can do steak bowls, pork bowls, veggie bowls. Brilliant. I'm a genius. Jeff? Hey, Jeff.
After 40 years as Florida State Baseball's head coach, Mike Martin Sr. is making this his final season. Join all of us here at Garnet and Gold as we celebrate the farewell tour for the winningest coach in college baseball history with limited edition commemorative baseballs, t-shirts, and caps in stock right now. And while you're here, check out Nike's hot new line of FSU baseball jerseys, tees, and ball caps. Garnet and Gold with 3 locations, West Pensacola Street, Collard, and Governor Square Boulevard. If you're a Seminole, we're your store. Shop local and go Noles.
You started a DIY project at home. Then you realize convenience isn't always easy. The why in DIY doesn't mean why is this so hard. At ADT, we DIFY, do it for you. We customize and install a secure smart home that you control from the palm of your hand or the sound of your voice. Smart security, designed and installed just for you with ADT. Visit ADT.com/smart to learn more. License information available at ADT.com. ADT, real protection.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. Celtics president Danny Ainge not worried when it comes to Kyrie Irving re-signing with the team this summer. Ainge told 98.5 The Sports Hub the Celtics remain confident Irving will remain in Boston come July 1. Irving has sent some mixed messages this season when it comes to his future. In October, he seemed to indicate he'd re-sign, and then last week he appeared to be a little less committed, telling reporters to ask him July 1st. Superstar center Anthony Davis remains with the Pelicans as the team opted not to move him before the trade deadline. Instead, we'll look to trade him this summer, and that makes things a little awkward in New Orleans, notes ESPN NBA analyst Tom Thibodeau.
Now they have to deal with the aftermath, and that's not an easy thing to deal with. So, but Anthony is a very high character guy, and I think once he does play, I think he'll be fine, but it's not an easy situation to be in.
Davis out the last 9 games with an injured finger, expected to return tonight versus the Timberwolves, 9:30 Eastern, ESPN TV and the ESPN app. Baseball looks like the Indians will be without all-star shortstop Francisco Lindor to start the season. Lindor suffered a strained calf while recently working out. The team anticipates he'll be sidelined up to 9 weeks, and that would put his return sometime in early April. Cleveland opens up the regular season on March 28th. Speaking at the end of an owners' meeting, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred said that management is focused on pace of game changes for 2019 and that larger issues such as expanding the DH to the National League, too complicated to be put into place for this season. Those will be for talks to determine in the next collective bargaining agreement. The current CBA expires at the end of the 2021 season.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
How many spring training games will you attend, Tom Lane?
I would set the over-under at 0.5.
You know, spring training is arguably one of my favorite sporting events. I know it doesn't have the intensity of an event whose outcome matters, but that's why I love it. And you get to take in, well, first of all, I take my kids to those games because, again, it's a relaxed atmosphere. You're watching the best in the world play, but the sights, the sounds, the smells, and spring training games you can get, depending on the venue you go to, you can get up close and personal with these guys, and they're relaxed, so they'll usually come over and talk to the kids and all of that. I mean, I've been down to Port St. Lucie. I've been down to Jupiter, obviously. I've been throughout the state to spring training venues, and almost all of them are far more intimate than a Major League park, although they've strove to do that in Major League Baseball too. But so that part of it's good. But I also just, again, man, an ice cold beer down the third baseline with, in my case, my wife or a buddy. You're relaxed, and again, I love the sounds of baseball and the smells of the fresh cut grass. Man, forget it. You can't beat it. Now, I know you're a homebody, but you got to go to a spring training game, man.
Man, I'm not a homebody. I get out.
You don't like to leave.
I don't like to leave the town because I usually have enough family gatherings that, that like uses up the credits, so to speak.
The energy you have for leaving town is what it uses up.
Well, yeah. I don't want to be leaving Tallahassee 3 out of 4 weekends. That's just a little much. And it seems in the spring I have family stuff that stacks up.
That's a bit of an extreme example. I mean, I'm saying going to a spring training game.
Like last year, for example, I was down at Gasparilla. There was one family engagement one weekend, and then we all go to Disney around President's Day weekend as an entire family. So that's the one time, along with Thanksgiving, when all of my siblings and my parents get together. So, we get to March. Now we've got March Madness. You've got some stuff we need to do with baseball. It racks up, dude. And the problem is that it always is in that little 4-week window. And for me, I haven't been to a spring training game since Omar Minaya was the general manager of the New York Mets. You know who pitched in the spring training game I was at?
No.
Jose Lima.
How about that? Lima time.
Yeah. He had the bleach blonde hair at that point in his career.
Well, find it. Find the time. Go down and see your Mets.
I know. We have a partnership down there.
You should.
I voiced their spots.
You should absolutely do it, by the way. That's a great stadium, and I've been to it, and there's a lot. If you do the little tour thing where maybe you go to 2 or 3, kind of just traverse your way up, you can go to 2 games in a weekend. You've shattered the 0.5, buddy.
I can go catch Tim Tebow play.
Camp's open next week, and while Major League Baseball hasn't said it, they need a good year. They need a good year, and it's not a good look as we sit around waiting for baseball's biggest free agents to sign right before camp opens. But, I mean, it's a crazy number. I'm looking at this now. There are more than 100 free agents still unsigned. Over 100.
Wow. And 3 first billers, right? Top billers with Machado, Harper, no particular order there, and then Kimbrel out of the bullpen, too.
Yeah, the Commissioner's Office and the Players Association traded proposals just last month. And they're talking about significant rules changes now. And we didn't go over this earlier, but Fridays are loose, so we do. The designated hitter could be coming to the National League. I don't like that. If it does happen, it wouldn't happen until 2020. Pitchers might be required to face at least 3 batters. I kind of like that.
I'd be okay with 2. That gets rid of the lefty specialist.
Rosters might be expanded to 26 in the regular season, reduced to a maximum of 28 in September.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that has been, certainly if you guys have scouted about on The Athletic or ESPN, you can find those articles. And all those were also confirmed on Wednesday and Thursday by multiple officials with the league and the union. And they weren't authorized to speak about those negotiations, but they all confirmed that there's a lot on the table right now. And it's good to see those two sides talking, by the way, because a lot of people believe that Rob Manfred had been largely frozen out by the union. And so, that's never a good thing when you're not getting a line of, communication.
Yeah, this is good. I mean, I don't want the DH to the National League either.
No.
I would think you'd need to probably launch about 2 or 3 other things to speed up the game to account for that. There's going to be more offense.
20-second pitch clock. That's on the table.
I'm good with that. I got no problem with that. I know that that's going to look foreign to a baseball park if you have a counting clock somewhere. But they do it in college baseball, right? Anyway, when there's nobody on base.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing, though, is I think the Mets organization is set up for a DH to be installed because we're going to have to get rid of a couple of guys who can't field a lick otherwise. So if I'm short-sighted about it, I'd say, yeah, bring on that DH. Let's do it.
You know what I thought was interesting? Chris Iannetta, you know the name, veteran catcher for the Colorado Rockies, said that, it's great. Wholesale changes could be coming to baseball, and we're talking about meaningful change to some of the rules. Again, the collective bargaining agreement runs through 2021, so it gives him the right to unilaterally impose some ideas that he brought up just last year, which would be something like the 20-second pitch clock. It's come up. But Iannetta, who is a member of the union's executive subcommittee, has said that from their standpoint, from their vantage point, the objective for Major League Baseball ought to be to get more teams who are actively trying to win games.
Yeah, well, last year was a really bad example. I mean, it's an outlier a little bit. We knew before the season started that there were probably going to be 6 or 7 halves in each league, and then there were going to be another 4 teams in each league that were trying actively to lose as many games as possible.
8 teams had at least 95 losses last year, the most in Major League Baseball history, and attendance, because of it, dropped by more than 3 million fans. It fell below 70 million for the first time since 2003. And, you know, again, you're talking about a lack of competitiveness from teams throughout the league, and those teams – if they're not able to compete, it's fairly obvious before the season begins. I think most people know. Like,
there were a couple of surprises last year. The Mets, being as bad as they were a bit of a surprise. I think the Orioles were a little they were supposed to be okay to bad, but not that bad. But you knew some other teams, like the Marlins, for example, are the easy one to pick at and say, well, they were selling everything off. Jeter is just imploding this thing and trying to rebuild it from scratch. There were others too in the Central and the American League.
A lot of people get mad that in baseball's free agency, the overwhelming number of the better players, not just the elite 2 or 3, but the guys that are plus players. Realmuto, who just got signed by the Phillies, would be an example of this, a really good player that can seriously upgrade a club at an important position like catcher, are really only vied for by 6 teams, 8 if you're lucky. And they want more people to be part of that puzzle. They were saying that if you look at the number of free agents, teams that can become much more competitive just by tapping into that talent pool, the talent pool that's available on the free agent market right now, could help change the sport dramatically. But in truth, they know that there's, maybe 7, 8 teams that have a real opportunity to tap into that because of their financial structure, and that baseball's got to find a way to find more balance in competitive.
Well, and you can't always expand the playoffs to solve the problem, right? I mean, I think
Right.
I think the 5th spot, the second wild card spot, has done a lot for a lot of markets in August and September to keep fan interest because there's an extra seat at the table. There were a lot of years where you knew the 4. And it was just a matter of what order they're going to be in and which team is going to actually win its division. Like the AL East, is it going to be the Yankees or the Red Sox that win the division, but both of them are going on to the next round. But that 5th spot means something. But you can't be going 7 and 8 deep in each league. That's the beauty of baseball. I think that there's a little bit more exclusivity to the party.
Everybody goes to the playoffs in hockey. Everybody goes to the playoffs in the NBA. So, yeah, you don't want that.
I mean, it could work, but I don't think that should always be the solution.
Well, and the retort from teams that are considered mid-level is, a good example would be Alex Cobb. So guys that are considered to be, rotational stabilizers, a lot of them have been signed in the last 3 or 4 years by mid-level teams that don't have the same kind of bank account. Cobb went 5-15 with an ERA over 5, I think. They're like, yeah, we're not doing that. We paid him $57 million. He sucks. This is not going to get it done. And that's what those guys are.
Yeah.
And a lot of GMs have said, yeah, back in the day, teams would overspend for mediocrity. Teams would overspend for pretty poor players. And now they're just saying, we won't do that. We're not going to do that.
And I know the Players Association is going to scream collusion. And I think in some cases that might be true, like maybe for the Harper and Machado deal.
Oh, sure, yeah.
You're trying to bring that ceiling down a little bit. But overall, I think teams are just being smarter. They realize that baseball is a little bit more fickle. You're not going to give me 85 catches on 110 targets for 1,000 yards because you're Des Bryant. It's
right.
It's a little bit harder to pinpoint there, and so these egregious salaries are a little bit nuts. So I think it's a little bit of both. There is collusion at the very, very top, but then you're right, for mid-level players, I mean, you're seeing 3rd, 4th starters, you're right, in the last 3 or 4 offseasons, getting what, like $15 million a year, $17 million a year?
Crazy money, $57 million for Alex Cobb? Get the hell out of here. That is crazy. Well, by the way, one of the proposals from the Players Union is they're advocating a system that incentivizes winning so that they change the very nature of the draft. Obviously, right now, if you're terrible, you get the higher draft picks, and a lot of people tank intentionally to do just that, right, to rebuild that way. What they're saying is the lower draft position for perennial losers, better draft position for low-revenue teams that win. So if you're a low-revenue team and you win and you show you're going to go for it and you're going to try to reward your fans and and your teams for doing just that. So a good example would be the Pirates.
Yeah, Pirates, Twins, Rays, A's.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the Pirates have spent wisely. They've developed some of their own players, obviously.
The Mets were poor.
I mean, they won 82 games last year. They just happened to be buried behind the Cubs and the Cardinals and teams like that, the Brewers. But they still won 82 games in that division.
Right.
Put them somewhere else, they might have won 90.
Yep.
And so that's one of those things where you're like, you'd like to reward teams like that. And I'm biased, but I'm saying that Rays have been doing this for years.
That's what I'm saying. No, it would help us. It would help us. We're very poor. We don't have much money.
That New York City market's not what it used to be, Tom.
No, that cable channel, it just doesn't bring in the truckloads. It brings in forklifts, but not truckloads.
I think they're going to do, to kind of put a ribbon on this, I think they're going to do the shot clock, for lack of a better term. I think they're going to do this. And I just don't know that it's going to have that great an impact on the game. I think I'm for more profound changes. In terms of the number of relievers and how many guys you're using in a game, obviously, and the left-right matchup stuff, I'm not saying you can't have specialists. There have been a lot of great pitchers whose careers are basically a result of that, of being specialists.
Here's a wacky idea, and I just thought of on the fly, so it's not all that well thought out. But what about moving the fences back or weakening the baseball? I feel like moving the fences back might be a better solution because you're creating more space for somebody to cover in the field. And now the 3 true outcomes aren't as likely to happen. And I think that's the problem we're facing here is the 3 true outcomes. I don't know what you can do short of changing the length of the playing surface to make people consider to swing the bat more, induce more swings at the plate.
Well, I think I would rather mess with the strike zone than I would the fences. I don't know. I don't want more cavernous ballparks. Colorado, for example, is what it is, and get way too many singles that fall that have no business falling.
Well, okay, so you got to figure out what you want, though. Do you want strikeouts and home runs or the ball in play a lot for singles, doubles, and moving the runners over?
No, I want the ball in play a lot. And I would try to figure out a way to do that best to incentivize swinging the bat. But I don't. Yeah, I don't think we need bigger ballparks. Launch angles right now are a problem with the swing. Right.
Yeah.
Everybody's going for broke. If you could find a way to reward putting the ball in play beyond a home run, then I would love to see that. And I think that certainly you could, I suppose, even more than we already do. Shrink the strike zone. You want to do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about that either, right?
There's a check and balance no matter what you do in the strike zone if you expand it or shrink it. And to me, I mean, maybe it's just as simple as deadening the baseball because, the 90s commercial, the idea of chicks digging the long ball, it was true then. It's not now because what comes with the long – I mean, look how many home runs are being hit. It's absurd once again, but it's because of an approach change and maybe a little bit of steroids too.
I do love home runs, though. And I'm not saying I'm one of those fans who's like, I can watch 1-0 and love it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see fewer home runs. I do like a home run now.
But what comes with this current day
strikeouts,
surge
of course,
is, a ton of them.
A gazillion. They got to find
and a ton of walks. I mean, Jesus. We need, what was it, more singles or fewer singles than something this year.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Singles are diminishing left and right.
No, I know. Well, you don't get paid for singles anymore, you know? I mean, it's like you could be a 330 hitter with 10 home runs back in the day, like a Tony Gwynn season or something, and you were idolized. Not anymore. No, and I get it. I get it. You scheme and you use the analytics to win baseball games, and if they tell you that those are, it's like the mid-range jumper.
Mm-hmm.
Guys could knock those down all day long, and I saw the value in them, but the statistics tell you, it's not that great a shot choice.
Yeah, the problem is the mid-range jumper is the action. The double it means that there is no action if you take it away.
Yeah, no.
3-pointers are still a shot,
Well, if you grew up in the 80s watching baseball, then you saw a whole lot of hit and run and a whole lot of stolen bases and a whole lot of first to third.
We had it at the beginning of this decade for like a 2-year window.
We did have a window. We did. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
professional ball players. That'd be fine. But it's not.
John's son, Dr. Tommy John III, says too many kids are getting injured like his father.
There was a trend coming in where I was dealing with injuries in 50, 60, and 70-year-old clients. The degenerative wear and tear that comes from life, I was seeing in these kids at 10, 11, 12 years old.
The discussion is part of Dr. John's new book, Minimize Injury, Maximize Performance, a Sports Parent Survival Guide. And that is a Bloomberg Business of Sports report. I'm Michael Barr.
At CDW, we get that wireless printing can leave your network vulnerable.
That's why I never take my eyes off our printers. I haven't blinked all day.
That's gotta itch.
No, it's more of a burning sensation.
Well, CDW would orchestrate a solution featuring HP LaserJet Enterprise printers to help you protect your network with reliable automated print security.
Can I blink again?
You sure can. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/HP Print Security.
If you're worried about your cholesterol, hear how others are taking charge with Garlic.
My doctor said my cholesterol was borderline, but I've been taking Garlic, and it works.
I've been taking Garlic for years.
My pharmacist recommended Garlic. He said there's an ingredient in garlic that helps maintain healthy cholesterol.
I take Garlic every day. No garlic breath. Lots of people like you are choosing Garlic to help maintain a healthy cholesterol. Garlic, it's cholesterol's natural enemy. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Want better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine? Change your oil every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. You know that sticker on your windshield? Don't look at it now. Wait until the next red light. Okay, check the number on your sticker. Then check your odometer. Is it time? There are 19 Tallahassee area Super Lube locations, which means there's one close to you right now. No appointments, and you're in and out in no time. You could do this today. Super Lube, for better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine.
How I love to Super Lube my car. Yes, sir.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. Once again, all of you with stellar credit ratings, congratulations. And this message is not for you. All last year, I talked about our New For You program to assist good people with dings in their credit. And just last week, a friend of mine came into my office worried about his own credit rating. But thanks to our New For You program, you guessed it, he drove away in a brand new Nissan Altima. We are proud of the fact that we have helped hundreds of people that were previously limited shopping little used car lots where they overpaid, got huge finance charges, and had very few choices on cars to purchase. Some of those lots may actually hurt your credit more than they could ever help. So remember, credit score under 600? Come on in. Recent bankruptcy? Come on in. Recently divorced? Come on in. Think you have a financial problem we've never heard of? Come on in to Kraft Nissan. And come see the one dealer in Tallahassee that can really help you out. Come see the cars that everyone wants at the hottest dealer in town, Kraft Nissan. And remember, if you don't see the Kraft tag on your car, you paid too much, way too much. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Or visit us on the web at craftnissan.com.
You started a DIY project at home. Then you realize convenience isn't always easy. The why in DIY doesn't mean why is this so hard. At ADT, we DIFY, do it for you. We customize and install a secure smart home that you control from the palm of your hand or the sound of your voice. Smart security, designed and installed just for you with ADT. Visit ADT.com/smart to learn more. License information available at ADT.com. ADT. Real protection.
At Township in Collegetown, for the table, by the people is not just lip service, it's their mantra. Tallahassee's largest beer hall offers drafts served in steins and a unique twist on upscale pub fare. Just walk up and order for the table and grab a seat by the people. Some you may not even know. If you're looking for a more intimate gathering, Township offers The Garden, a unique setting to Tallahassee complete with outdoor fireplace and a retractable awning. Oh, and let's not forget the 32 taps and private bar. Book it for your next party or company event. Township Tallahassee, 619 Woodward Avenue in Collegetown.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
So, 2 more mock drafts, Tomlin. We don't get to play the music here, I don't think. But the mock season is amongst. Now has hit has not only hit the ground running, but I think it's simultaneous on 4 different spots. I've seen an article today posting mocks. So it's now everybody's in lockstep as to when mock season is.
Well, I got to say, as we're approaching the top of the hour, 5 p.m. here on a Friday, I can't wait. That's how I start my weekend, is I go check out all the mocks.
Every damn mock there is.
Be it Walter Football, CBS, ESPN, Fox Sports, NFL Network. I can't have enough of them, man. It's perfect. It's a good way to start the weekend.
The best part is that they now concede in their articles that most of you will hate what we've done to the picks. When you inevitably hate them, come yell at me on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. So they're like, listen, this is ridiculous. You know it and I know it. Mm-hmm. We all know this is dumb.
Well,
but by all means, please engage.
Well, what they should say is this is dumb. We all agree it's dumb, but you people keep clicking on it, so we have to do more of them.
We have to keep doing it. It's
crazy. And you know what? We haven't found the bubble period or the pressure necessary to burst the bubble yet. So you guys keep on clicking on them. The more we make, the more traffic we get. So you're yelling at us, but you keep clicking and reading.
Well, and listen, guys like us like to do it to make fun of them and mock them about their mock drafts, but I'll give Will Brinson credit. He's the one I'm making fun of right now for writing that, but his mock is Nick Bosa, number 1, Josh Allen, the linebacker from Kentucky, the 260-pound edge rusher, whom I still don't know how the hell they got at Kentucky. What in the world was going on there? Anyhow.
Must have been a girlfriend thing.
Quinnen Williams from Alabama, the defensive lineman, who's a stud, going number 3. Rashawn Gary, a defensive lineman from Michigan, going number 4. Jonah Williams, the offensive lineman from Alabama, going to the Bucs at 5. This is the most sane.
Oh, yeah.
This is the most sane mock we've seen yet.
That makes a ton of sense.
But it does.
I know.
So you like that one?
Say it louder.
Devin White, linebacker, LSU, going to the Giants. Dwayne Haskins, quarterback, going to Jacksonville. Okay, Will, I'm going to give you some credit here. These seem reasonable. The Farrell defensive lineman kid from Clemson. Thank God he's not going back to Clemson.
Woo! Yeah, but all the talk was about the other guys, right? The interior guys, and then Farrell's just like, hey, hold my beer, and then give it to me once I'm 21 years old, because I'm sure he's not yet.
Drew Lock or Haskins, in your mind?
I like Haskins. I know I'm in the minority there.
I don't think so.
I just like the way I like the way he gets through his progressions. I saw enough in 2 or 3 games.
Too, with a big arm.
But if you go 1 to 4 in college, the way that the college offenses are constructed these days, that tells me something about your intelligence. Now, there's a lot to clean up otherwise.
And he doesn't have hardly any starts under his belt, and we do know that matters greatly. But yeah, sure. No, I can live with that. By the way, Will here doesn't get crazy, and I get the sense that he had to get crazy because somebody got mad that he was being too sensible. He doesn't get crazy till he gets outside the top 10 when he takes Kyler Murray to the Cincinnati Bengals at number 11.
Well, that's the Frank Sinatra character. Is like, come on, give me something juicy, baby.
Let's go. This is boring. Hey, so here's the problem, guys. Kyler Murray, I just want to again say this, ought not go in the first 4 rounds. Can we just get this out here, please? Stop it. He's 5'8". Stop it. Now, if he gets to the combine and measures in at 5'11 and a half or something, and we go, whoa, okay, now wait a minute, because there is a very big difference, believe it or not, between 5'11 and 5'8". There is 0 evidence in NFL history of a 5'8 quarterback making it. There are at least a select few at 5'11. In fact, there are, a couple potential Hall of Famers at 5'11. Mm-hmm. There are no 5'8 quarterbacks in the history of the league that were any good ever. So
after the merger, I'm sure in the roaring 20s and 30s for NFL championships, Skippy McGuffey.
Okay. When the tallest player on the field was 5'9", there might be evidence of a 5'8 quarterback.
Oh, my God,
succeeding.
He's 200 pounds.
Yes, yeah.
Get him some lucky strikes. He'll shave off 10 right away.
Maybe when the starting right guard for Skippy McGriff was 5'10", 178.
Skippy McGriff was the tight end. Skippy McGuffey was the quarterback.
Between McGriff and McGuffey, they've got something going.
Optimize Skippy and Milwaukee. These Milwaukee Thunderbirds.
So I just want to keep repeating something here. If Kyler Murray makes it, and he is under 5'9", or 5'10" even, I'm going to tell you he'll be a first. Not saying he can't. Not saying it'll never happen. He'd just be the first guy to ever do it. People get mad. They're like, oh, well, why don't you think he can do it? Well, I don't know. History. Nobody ever in the history of the game has ever done it. We're trying to eliminate risk with our pick.
As a general manager, that is your job.
Yes. Final hour, forthcoming. Stay with.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
$5,600 on in-stock vehicles. The all-new 2019 Ram 1500 is Motor Trend Truck of the Year, and it's breaking all kinds of records. We have over 80 Ram 1500s in stock with up to $11,000 off MSRP. You can't go wrong. Motor Trend Truck of the Year and up to $11,000 off MSRP. It's the deal of the year. There's only one place to go. Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat on the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle. We're right on the corner and always right on the price. Or visit us on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. Dealer retains all rebates and incentives plus tax, tag, and dealer fee.
Driving every day from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. Celtics president Danny Ainge not worried when it comes to Kyrie Irving re-signing with the team this summer. Ainge told 98.5 The Sports Hub the Celtics remain confident Irving will remain in Boston come July 1. Irving has sent some mixed messages this season when it comes to his future. In October, he seemed to indicate he'd re-sign, and then last week he appeared to be a little less committed, telling reporters to ask him July 1st. Superstar center Anthony Davis remains with the Pelicans as the team opted not to move him before the trade deadline. Instead, we'll look to trade him this summer, and that makes things a little awkward in New Orleans, notes ESPN NBA analyst Tom Thibodeau.
Now they have to deal with the aftermath, and that's not an easy thing to deal with. So, but Anthony is a very high character guy, and I think once he does play, I think he'll be fine, but it's not an easy situation to be in.
Davis out the last 9 games with an injured finger, expected to return tonight versus the Timberwolves, 9:30 Eastern, ESPN TV and the ESPN app. Baseball looks like the Indians will be without all-star shortstop Francisco Lindor to start the season. Lindor suffered a strained calf while recently working out. The team anticipates he'll be sidelined up to 9 weeks, and that would put his return sometime in early April. Cleveland opens up the regular season on March 28th. Speaking at the end of an owners' meeting, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred said that management is focused on pace of game changes for 2019 and that larger issues such as expanding the DH to the National League, too complicated to be put into place for this season. Those will be talked to determine in the next collective bargaining agreement. The current CBA expires at the end of the 2021 season.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill. Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for today. Happy Libations Friday. Loosey-goosey. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you're going to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. Sometimes you miss something, and hey, that stinks. How can I catch up, Jeff? Well, funny you should ask. We'll post all 3 hours of the program both to iTunes and our own audio vault on ESPNTallahassee.com. Also find it on the free WTSM app. Email us if you like, jcs at 979ESPNradio.com. And hello, YouTubers. I hope you're doing well. Louisville is 4-3 against ranked opponents this season. They are considered to be number 3 seed in the latest bracketology. That's what I saw this morning when I was writing my notes. They're 5-2 on the road. They've been good.
Do you still write notes?
No, I type them onto notes or into an email or out or I do the Microsoft Word.
When did you make the switch, out of curiosity?
I don't like doing it this way. It's funny you bring this up. I learned better writing them out.
Because you can see yourself writing it, and that's how you remember?
And you have to think about it. And if I really need to know something and have it now, I write it out.
Yeah, there's a connection that's created.
Yeah, and it doesn't exist from a keyboard to a Word document or even to your notes in your phone, let's say. Now, if I'm on the go and I think of something that I want to talk about, I just quickly put it in my notes. And you were good about drilling that home and saying, look, man, you got the notes function. Just put it on there. We used to go play golf, and I'd have a good stretch of 3 holes. And he asked me, Tom Wood, what were you thinking about? Because he was noting that I was making flush contact and, let's say I go par bogey or something. He's like,
I was setting it up for the punchline.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and then he'd be like, why don't you write it in your notes, man? So that you can remember this.
As I take a pull of my beer. I can't wait for that season to come back.
Yeah, that always made me laugh. That's
but it's true.
It's a glimpse of Tom Lang, the father-to-be, which is that he's like, okay, I've seen this game one too many times, and Jeff will forget what he was doing, so I got to remind him to put it in his notes.
Yeah, it's out of love. I'm trying to help you because it's helped me, especially with sand play, although I lost the tip that Coach Jones, Coach Trey gave me.
Yeah.
And now it was eating
I got a new tip from Coach Trey Jones from Florida State about chipping with different irons that he wants me to chip with.
Okay.
And you hit it off the toe intentionally.
To deaden it.
Deaden it, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a methodology he wants me to use.
I do that with, I told you, with the putter on really fast greens on downhill putts, because then you can hit it with more authority.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, same tempo on the longer. Yeah,
that's right. Is that the point of this? Is like you can hit it with more authority? Or
no. I'll show you during the break.
I'm excited.
I am too.
Trey's got great tips, man.
He does have great tips. It's like he's a college golf coach.
It's like he's coached the #1 player in the world before or something.
He understands how to play the game a little bit. So here's the point: we're looking to win our 5th consecutive game in the conference, obviously, and we were really good defensively against Syracuse. And the other thing we've been doing, we've been making shots. Hit 54% of our shots in the game against Syracuse. Held Syracuse to hitting 41% of their shots.
Well, yeah, what is it? 3 out of the last 4 games, we've hit at least 10 3-pointers.
Yeah, it's happening. Terrence Mann was 8 of 9 from the field, had 22 points, 9 boards. He shot 50% in the last 3 games. He shot at least 50% in the last 3 games. And he's averaging in those games, 12 points a game, 52% shooting. So it's been a good run. I keep talking about this, but Kabengele is the star of this team. He's averaging 17 points in 4 of the last 5 games. Every time we watch him, he does something that makes us wonder whether or not he's going to turn pro. On the season, his average is 13.2, 5.2 rebounds per game. But he's ascending, to say the least. But we're really seeing the balance here from Florida State.
You're seeing balance, and Terrence Mann's stat line appears more like it used to. And that's great because it fills up every category. He's not going to miss one shot from the field every time he takes the floor, but you're more used to him being around everything, being around the basketball. More than just some bad calls against Syracuse this week. I do think he is allergic to not having a charge called against him.
It is unbelievable.
But he will, carelessly just drive it in 5th gear through the lane. And I think a reputation probably precedes him a little bit there. Well, but overall, you could see the hop coming back in his step. And then as for Fee, he's 9 for 16 from 3 in conference play.
He has always been
That's a cool 56%.
Well, he's always been a really good three-point shooter. When you watch him, even before this year, when you'd see him take the occasional three, you'd go, that's good form. He's confident when he pulls up. He's square. He really believes he's going to make that shot. And I think it's evident. And obviously now it's translating into more of those. But he's got the green light on that shot. It's not a crazy shot. We think of him as a big man, but he can really stroke it. So
he hit a couple of them in non-conference season. And you could see how natural it looked. And there was an article they did in the Democrat, Wayne McGahee put it together, about how the importance of three-pointers not lost on him this season if he wants to continue on in his development and start getting paid for playing this game of basketball, because his size is going to be something against him, used against him.
It's happened.
It has. It has, but his shot looks more comfortable, and he is 8 of 18 in conference play. That's 44%. So your two leading shooters from a percentage standpoint, and if you had like a minimum attempts thing, they probably would be disqualified here. But it's Fee at 9 of 16 and Terrence at 8 of 18.
He's really shooting well, and he looks more and more confident in that shot. It's something to watch Terrence Mann be a guy that when he pulls up from 3, I don't go, no, because I used to. I don't now with him.
Well, the shot he hit before the half against Syracuse, the one that broke our scoreless run that went for about half an hour, was huge. That was a really big shot. I know they answer it right back the other way, but we needed to see the ball go through the basket.
I'm concerned about the game for a lot of reasons. Louisville's really good, and they're coming off of a game against Virginia Tech where, look, you bounce back from a loss to North Carolina with a convincing 72-64 road win over number 11 Virginia Tech earlier this week. That makes their ACC record 8-2. They were an underdog in that game, went on the road, and, they shot close to 50%, but they held, more importantly, Virginia Tech to shooting 44%. And they've got a lot of guys that can hurt you and a lot of guys that have played key roles. I would say for us, you got to slow Dwayne Sutton down, who's playing really well right now, with 6 of 8 shooting in that game. He's a junior. He's had 17 or more points in each of the last 3 contests for Louisville. He's playing really well right now. That's a good matchup to watch because he's 6'8" and he can do a lot of things. So I'm excited about that matchup in particular. He's coming on.
Well, it seems like another game where you need to play Fiondu 30 minutes. And I know you'd say, Tom, every game should be a game in which you play Fiondu.
I'm a big fan of those kinds of minutes, yes.
But I do understand when there are times, and I've said this before, if there is an outright height advantage to Kumaje, then you can steal 6 to 10 points from Kumaje in minimal minutes on the floor. And you could steal more time if Fiondu gets in foul trouble or you want to give him a breath. This screams to be the type of game where physicality will rule the day in the post. And so maybe Kumaje plays 8 to 15 minutes, and then Kumaje takes the rest of them.
Kumaje?
Did I say?
I think you did.
Well, how about Kabengele?
Okay. That's a better choice.
Substitute the second part for Kabengele.
I agree with that.
A.K.A. Fiondu.
I like that.
Did you know that he is Dikembe Mutombo's nephew?
I found that out recently. Yeah. I may have overheard you talking about it at some point. Can I give you some gambling side notes here?
I'll take them.
Big Daddy likes to bring these up, and so we're going to bring them up. We are 9-3-1 against the spread in our last 13 Saturday games. Did you know that?
No.
We are 4-1-1 in our last Saturday games with the under. Did you know that?
That makes sense.
The under is 39-19-3 in the last 61 home games. We tend to hold people down. As for Louisville, they're 4-1 in their last 5 games, following a straight-up win. They're 6-2 in their last 8 games with the under. The under is 7-3 in their last 10 games following a win. We're going under here?
I guess. I got to know what the hell the number is.
Does it sound like we're going under?
We'll see what Vegas set the number at. Maybe Vegas knows all these things, and so they're going to lowball it at somewhere around 120, 125.
Sorry, guys. I got bogged down. I just, every now and then, gambling whistles in my ear and says, hey, what about us? What about us?
Well, what I do know is the Basketball Power Index believes that we are a 61.8% favorite.
61%?
Oh, yes. The BPI thinks we are we're a prohibitive favorite.
That's it. I'm going to ignore all the other numbers and my eyes and just go, BPI's got this. Let's go. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Bowls upon bowls upon bowls.
That's very interesting.
What's the high school over in Jacksonville, the one with all the good football players?
Bowls?
Right.
What are you getting at here, Jeff?
Mo used what to cut his hair?
I don't know, Jeff. What is a bowl?
Boom. A bowl indeed.
Hey, that gives me an idea.
Really?
We should have bowls here at Gordo's. We can do all kinds of bowls. We can do chicken bowls, fish bowls. We can do steak bowls, pork bowls, veggie bowls. Brilliant. I'm a genius. Jeff? Hey, Jeff.
Can't we all get along?
Boucher Bayrum presents Kenny Chesney, Songs for the Saints Tour.
No shit.
Friday, April 26th, Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. With special guests David Lee Murphy and Caroline Jones. Tickets on sale now at TuckerCivicCenter.com. Produced by Messina Touring Group and AEG presents.
You started a DIY project at home. Then you realize convenience isn't always easy. The why in DIY doesn't mean why is this so hard. At ADT, we DIFY, do it for you. We customize and install a secure smart home that you control from the palm of your hand or the sound of your voice. Smart security, designed and installed just for you with ADT. Visit ADT.com/smart to learn more. License information available at ADT.com. ADT, real protection.
Hey sports fans, who's on your Mount Rushmore of baseball? I'm going with Ruth, Cobb, Aaron, and Mantle. Football, I've got Bradshaw, Peyton, Montana, and Brady. In basketball, Jabbar, Jordan, Bird, and LeBron. This debate could go on and on, but when it comes to the Mount Rushmore of personal injury law in Tallahassee, the choice is clear. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey. Recently voted Tallahassee's best law firm, so avoid the underdog and go with the favorite. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey.
Valentine's Day is right around the corner. The question is, what gift are you getting for the one you love? We get it. It's not easy. Love is a dangerous game. Thankfully, though, guaranteed wins exist at Hellsberg Diamonds. Right now, save $400 on the half-carat total weight diamond heart pendant, only $299.99. This Thursday, February 14th, show Cupid who's boss. Be the hero on Valentine's Day and give a gift from Hellsberg Diamonds.
Okay, that ought to do it. Thanks, Jessica, for coming over and helping me declutter my home.
You're welcome. That's what friends are for. Ooh, check it out. I found some loose change in this corner.
That is the second time you have found some hidden treasures in my house.
Do you know you can find savings in every corner of your home?
Okay, I'm listening.
You can find savings from the city of Tallahassee. With their 5% interest financing for more than 25 energy-efficient appliances, measures, and systems, you can get a loan for things like outdoor lighting, floor, ceiling, and wall insulation, Energy Star reflective roofing, and even things like gas ranges, fire logs, and grills.
Wait, even on grills? I've been shopping around for a new gas grill. I had no idea, and with it getting even darker, I could use some outdoor lighting. It seems the City of Tallahassee's loan program may be the perfect solution.
Well, just be sure and invite me over the next time you grill.
Of course, that's what friends are for.
Take advantage of the City of Tallahassee's loan program and save energy, water, and money. Visit talgov.com to learn more. That's talgov.com for more information.
You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Libations Friday edition of the Jeff Cameron Show. Little Lucy, little goosey. No, I was cracking up laughing. And I don't know, I'm torn on this because if you work in sports, if you are a coach or a former player, whatever successes and failures you have are well documented. If you're on a national stage, right? So if you're a professional football player, say you're a receiver, and then you go into the broadcast booth, everybody knows what you did or didn't do as a receiver, what you accomplished in your career. And you have to separate that when you go into that broadcast booth, because either way, if you're on a team that lost more than it won and you never won a championship, you're still an expert. You're still somebody who ascended to a level that 99.9% of the people viewing your opinions and or your articles never got to. And so you're an expert in some realm. Now, you may not have a greater understanding of the game than somebody who never played, for example. We see that all the time. There are people I know that never played the game that have a much greater understanding. Tom Lang, for example, has a much greater understanding of football than, say, Rod Woodson. Now, when you go through that, and I'm just using him as an example, there have been others that I thought, were lacking in that arena. Just an understanding of the game. Better athletes, better players, all of that is a given, but an understanding of how things happen in the game is what we're talking about. Why do I say that? I say this to say that. I say that to say this. Those guys, once they're hired to be analysts and to be members of a panel, typically are done so to give opinions. They're not the driver. They're there on set to give opinions about what they're seeing, about a defense, an offense, whatever their area of expertise. And so I never hold it against them if they weren't any good relative to the rest of the team or the field or their position. I'm using football. So for coaches, say Jim Mora Jr. has been a miserable failure.
Yeah.
His professional career is a series of overwhelming failures. That is to say, compared to those that he fought against on a regular basis, he did terribly. So, at the same time, comes from a football family, has been a coach in the NFL, a coach in college. Clearly, he has to know the game, just not as well as his peers. But he clearly has to know the game. So, when he gives an opinion that detracts from, say, in this case, Willie Taggart in Florida State, or Willie Taggart's coaching ability or recruiting ability, I have to respect that. I have to say, well, that's what you're there to do. You were asked a question, you have to give an answer, and if you don't believe in Willie Taggart, you have to say that. At the same time, it's hard not to roll your eyes and go, well, now, sir. Because that's exactly what happened. He was asked a question regarding his confidence level in Willie Taggart, and I thought, it's a shame Jim Mora had to be asked that question because, honestly, Jim Mora was a miserable failure as a coach, especially in college. Just a terrible failure.
I think the only thing that Jim Mora could probably understand that Willie is going through is hype on the way in the door. Because he's been hired a couple of times and people said, all right, we got us a winner. We got right. Jim Mora.
Yeah, and then he was terrible.
Now, Willie, we're hoping, takes a different path.
He may not, and it may not be that he's wrong. It may be that Jim Mora turns out to be right. And that's why, I was a little conflicted when I heard that Jim had, as an analyst, he's asked a question about what he sees happening at Florida State and whether or not Willie Taggart's plan is something he believes in. And he said unequivocally, no, not at all. And that's true of a lot of people. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That is his job.
Well, and let's be honest. If we were Ohio State fans, that's terrible. It's just disgusting. But if we were, and we were looking at the Florida State situation from afar, in Columbus, from Big Ten mentality, we're saying the same damn thing that Moore is like, that's a disaster. Right. That guy can't do it. He's got no chance whatsoever.
Well, I don't know that we'd go that far after one season, especially on the heels of a 6-loss season the year before he took over.
Wait, but if you weren't inundated in Florida State stuff every day, and you just turned us on Saturday this past year, you go, oh my God.
I'd say they
problems. Can't line up.
They can't block.
But
I don't know that
their quality control stuff is a mess. It looks like, they just look like a disaster.
Yeah, but you wouldn't gather that if you just casually turned us on for a game or two.
You would. You'd give up on us. You'd say, I can't watch this. This is garbage.
What you would do is say you might say they look disorganized and they can't block, but I don't think you'd have a greater opinion about the larger state of things. From a distance, that takes a little bit more time. That takes 2 and 3 years.
But college football fans aren't nuanced with another team. No. What I'm saying is, follow form is there are quite a few situations where we'll check in and say, oh, well, they're garbage. And then a year later, we're like, well, I guess they're not. But we don't pay any mind. We just look at it first impression and we say, oh, okay. God, what a disaster.
Well, let's differentiate then, because we do. You and me do. I don't look at a first-year coach, even if he's doing a terrible job, which, by the way, for example, UCLA, Jim Mora's old team, they hired Kelly. That was a disaster. And it looks like it's going to be a disaster for the foreseeable future. But I'm not going to tell you he can't get it done. He has a track record of having gotten it done. His time at Oregon proved that he could get it done in the college game. I'm telling you right now, I'm like the rest of the country is towards us. Suspect. I'm looking there going, that doesn't look promising. But I'm not going to tell you he can't do it. Now, if at the end of next year UCLA sucks as bad as they did again this past year, and they don't sign anybody, because, by the way, their recruiting class ain't nowhere near that top 15, nowhere near that top 20, then I would go, looks like that's a longer fix-up. That's a longer turnaround. They're going to have a long way to go, right? Anyhow, I say that to say this. Florida State is the topic du jour right now in recruiting post-National Signing Day, obviously, because they didn't get a quarterback, because Willie Taggart failed to bring us a quarterback. And I get that. And it's interesting because there are a lot of people who aren't part of the fan base and aren't part of the alumni and aren't part of the Florida State contingent that are talking about us right now. And that's to be expected. Like I said, I understand that. And I cracked up this morning because I got up, pulled up the old interwebs there, and I was up awfully early, as you and I were talking about earlier today. I couldn't sleep. That happened. And as I'm reading my friend Andy Staples' mailbag there at Sports Illustrated, I see my name. And that's always interesting. They're like, oh, well, there I am. But he answered a question, and, of course, the question came from a Gator. And the question was, how screwed is Florida State? And were you wrong about Taggart? Asking Andy if he was wrong, because Andy believed that Willie Taggart was a real good hire. And since I share that opinion, I thought, well, let's see what he says. And I began to read, and he went through it, and he said a lot of things. But he kind of narrowed it down to, is Taggart the right guy for the job, and was Florida State a bigger project than what we realized? And this is what he had to say, and I'll read this to you, not because I'm patronizing you. I know you guys are capable, but you might be in the car, for example, right now. Maybe you can't read this. So here you go, and then I'll go from there. You and I will kind of discuss what we think about this, and that I find it fascinating because there's a lot of panic, and there are a lot of people taking great joy in Florida State's situation, as we have done with others, as we have done, you and I, with Florida's situation, Miami's situation.
A generation of
suck.
suck.
Right. And we have not been, at least not to this degree, in this situation. And it does. Now we know. It feels like you're just battered about the head and neck on a daily basis, doesn't it? It's like there's an article a day.
Yeah, I went through the lost decade, but social media wasn't like it is now.
No.
And I wasn't doing this for a living when we were going through the lost decade. We were just kind of coming out of it. I mean, you were going after one final Bowden swoop when I started as an intern, and I remember the phone lines being
lit up
all day, every day.
Every day, all the time.
I mean, at noon. You don't come on for 3 hours, and I'm doing promos for like Jim Rome, right? And the phones are just lighting up, and Mars says, "Don't answer them. Don't just let them go.
Let it go.
Just let it go.
It's gonna be free."
And yet, it wasn't as inundating as it is. I think because of the social media age, people just pile the hell on. Echo chamber doesn't do it justice.
That's true. It's true. So he writes, and then we'll get back to it. It's possible that Taggart isn't the right guy, and that Florida State was a bigger project than expected. If both of those things are true, then we'll find out pretty quickly once the Seminoles start playing this season. That scenario probably would mean change is on the way. It's also possible that the answer to both of the above questions is yes. If that is the case, then Florida State can still be successful under Willie Taggart. Remember, Taggart has been a head coach at 3 other programs, and all of them got better. To put it in HGTV terms, Western Kentucky and South Florida were total gut jobs, and they took time. In 2010, Taggart went 2-10 in his first season with the Hilltoppers, went 0-12 in 2009. In Taggart's third and final season at Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers went 7-6. He then took over USF, which went 3-9 in Skip Holt's final season. 2013, Taggart's first Bulls team went 2-10. His last Bulls team in 2016 went 11-2. So it's, again, he's pointing all of these things out. And then he was off to Oregon, and Oregon under Mark Helfrich had gone 4-8. In Taggart's only season at Oregon, they went 7-5. So he's talking about the improvements in the track record. Oregon was not a total gut job. The Ducks had some good pieces, including the sophomore quarterback Justin Herbert and senior offensive tackle Tyrell Crosby. It seemed logical that Florida State would be in a similar or better state. While the Noles had gone 7-6 in Jimbo Fisher's final season, they had gone 20-6 the previous two and finished number 3 in the 247 Sports Composite in the 2016 recruiting cycle and number 6 in 2017. That suggested an easy road to improvement, but watching the Seminoles, especially along the offensive line, last year suggests there was far more work to be done. The line was simply awful, and everything else offensively devolved from there. Meanwhile, the team seemed to lack leadership at the player level. To continue, perhaps the Seminoles needed to be ripped down to the studs, and we didn't realize it. Jeff Cameron, who hosts a show on Tallahassee's ESPN radio affiliate, posited last week that Taggart realized early that he had the same job ahead of him as Scott Frost at Nebraska, but was hesitant to run off the locker room issues the way Frost did because it would put Florida State's bowl streak in jeopardy. Frost immediately warned the Nebraska faithful that the Cornhuskers could struggle, and they did. Frost said it would get worse before it got better, and it got much, much worse, but then it got better. Nebraska looked like a different team in Week 12 than it did in Week 1. Florida State did not. Combined with a lack of buzz on the recruiting trail, it's generated even more concern in Tallahassee. All right, and he goes on. There's more here. Talks about Lejeune choosing Maryland. Talked about not having, being able to procure the commitment of Howell, the lack of depth at the position, and what's going to happen from there. And he concedes that it could very well be that Florida State has a plan, that Willie Taggart turns this around, that they are able to get a grad transfer, or that Jordan Travis is eligible and then depth is not a problem. But we won't really know anything in terms of the program, him being the right guy, Florida State's decision-making in the next 2 years, all of that, until they play games. And this is where we're at again. I think more and more, Tom, and maybe that was self-aggrandizing there, quoting myself in a SI article. But I will say this. The more I think about that and the more you and I talk about this, I really think that our level of concern would be very different had he just said, and you and I debate to what degree, we've got a long way to go to flip this. I know that's not a popular sentiment. Believe me, we're going to try to keep the bowl streak alive, but we've got to change the culture here. And you can stop there. Yeah. You can stop short of saying we're going to be terrible, and you certainly can stop short of saying, hey, we're going to win 9-10 games. This is an easy fix. This is not a rebuild. You don't want to do that. Somewhere in between, and I think that statement I just made would have done that.
Yeah, I think there was still time in fall camp to change it too. Once you, if you looked at the team and you said, "Ooh, okay," because to me on the booster trail, let's just say he wanted to change the expectations or set the bar for himself in year one lower. He could have said and whispered sweet nothings in Orlando and the Tampa area, Sarasota, all over the state and the region. He could have said, I'm the worst coach ever. But you know what? I need your money. It didn't matter what he said. People would have forked over cash left and right.
Oh, I
the
think
schedule
it
was good. I mean, yes, I'm using a ridiculous example, but he could have said, guys, I need you to bear with me, and pitched it that way and said, it's a bit of a mess. We eked into a bowl last year. I'm so glad that bowl streak is alive. I'm going to do everything I can. But after looking at it a little bit deeper than I did for bowl practices, it could work, but, I mean, you got to give me some time to work with it, and I need your help in order to bridge that gap quicker so I can make this thing happen faster.
Mm-hmm.
The choices are of what actually happened. Did he want to get as much out of the boosters and the hype as he possibly could to maybe fake it till they make it with what roster we did have, or did he miscalculate about what we had? And those, I think, are the two choices where neither is good. One is worse than the other, though, because if he miscalculated, you go, oh, boy. Well, I hope in terms of development and diagnosing what you have and what you need moving forward at this level. It's about at this level. Do you know what it takes? Do you know what competitive in the ACC, competitive with Clemson, looks like in camp? That kind of stuff.
I think another thing he has to do, and I've been thinking about this, in addition to those, I don't disagree with you there, I think he's got to exude more confidence. And I don't know how he does that because his personality is not such that it lends itself to sort of an affirming.
It can, though. He does it in flashes.
I think he's going to need to do more of it. I think he needs to be a little bit cockier.
Mm-hmm.
I know that sounds crazy, right? I mean, you go 5-7,
or you just let David Kelly speak every week. David's a good hype man.
Yeah, you got to do something that shows. Certainly that shows a level of confidence and competence and belief that this is all part of a bigger plan, that you understand along the way these bumps in the road are not a good look. It's frustrating. I get it. I empathize. And believe me, nobody wants this turned around more than I do. This is my dream job. But I'm telling you, I'm going to get this right. Not only do I have full confidence, this is certainly nothing new for me.
Well, if we won 8 or 9 games last year, the way he delivers things, he'd be considered easy breezy, even keeled. That's the kind of coach you want right there because nothing's too high or too low. He kind of stays right in that middle. But charisma can cover up some deficiencies and allow you to convince a couple people to part with a couple of bucks while you're not doing what you're supposed to do. I hear you there.
Well, I think sometimes he sounds dejected. As dejected as the fans sometimes, and I don't need that from my guy.
And that's not. I don't think that's how he feels, but that is the way it comes across.
Right,
yes.
That's what I mean because that I think it lends itself to the furthering of that discussion, which is, man, I don't know. He looks in over his head a little bit here, and he doesn't sound confident either. You can almost picture the fan base having that conversation at little cafes and bars all over the state, right?
I think since we have, unfortunately, a little under 7 months before we actually start playing football.
Damn you.
We're going to consider this thing for probably
every angle
way too many times. But I just keep coming back to, okay, so there was a miscalculation last year. You can debate if quarterback was a miscalculation from the word go. I think I could see either way there because DeAndre didn't have enough body of work that you'd figure with those gifts. The more time you have with him, the better he play. But was the miscalculation about what we were because he didn't see it or because he thought they'd improve on the fly and they might be able to do more on the fly? And that's where you hope that in evaluations moving forward, we know what we are. If we know what we are, we have a better chance of correcting what we're not, right?
Well, you got different guys to come in here and look at it. And I would imagine Kendall Briles doesn't feel like failing.
Well, and I don't believe that his staff bailed him out at all of his stops along the way. There are different players, right? And he's a constant. Now, he has some coaches that have been with him every step of the way, one of which he parted with. But I don't think that Willie is the product of underlings at Western Kentucky, USF, and Oregon.
No, listen, again, that track record is something that if you believe in Willie Taggart, you're falling back on. You have to. And it's part of what I fall back on when I defend Willie Taggart. I also am critical of Willie Taggart. I think there's plenty of room here for, again, nuance in this discussion. It's not all of one or the other.
No, stubbornness with the quarterback position. You could say that he made the right decision with DeAndre.
I don't think he did, but yes, you could.
You could. But even if you argue that it was the correct decision, you'd say he was too stubborn. And they didn't have a plan for James Blackman. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. I mean, you got to count the games, man, because if you're going to pivot to the kid, then you want to allow him to be able to finish the season if you're going to shirt him, if you were in the first place.
Yeah.
But I don't think they had that drawn up, how they wanted to do that anyway. And then you look at a situation. Yes, it is kind of day-to-day business, but it gives you a window. We're going to keep returning kicks? Come on, man. Why? Why are we going to keep returning kickoffs? Like, after how many weeks do you need the evidence to say, all right, man? Because
that reeks of I've got too many other things that I'm dealing with.
Yeah, but a touchback is like a 2-word adjustment.
No, I agree. I'm not saying that it shouldn't have been done. I'm saying
more touchbacks.
When you're bogged down with all of this other stuff, you don't see anything clearly.
Right.
Again, I think the criticism of Willie that I most agree with is that he's been indecisive and taken too long to figure things out, which is what we're talking about now. But I need firm decisions to be made and a handle on those situations. And let's go, and let's not.
Now, Walt Bell was a snake oil salesman, and we find that out on the way out the door. We weren't pointing to it at that point, but we did realize that he was 95% bluster and then 5%,
you can play the clip on the way out if you want.
I might have deleted all that snake oil salesman's crap.
Well, you got to keep that one forever because it's one of my favorites.
But I don't know. But that might have been an indicator in hindsight, right? That, okay, so we probably need a more definitive plan, which is what he's doing with Kendall Briles.
Oh, without
question.
He's
saying it's your show, big shooter. Let's go. Let's score some points for me. Instead of Walt Bell being in the dais, it's August, the month before the football season, and Walt saying, I don't know what my job is. We haven't had a game week preparation yet, but I'm sure it'll be something to make his life easier.
I know this would surprise people, but I really think with that schedule, with the bodies that we're able to throw at the problem on the offensive line, with Kendall Briles coming in, the DeAndre Francois no longer being here, with Nooney Murray no longer being here, Florida State is going to take a huge step forward next year. I believe that. And I also believe that if they don't, it's okay to talk about firing Willie Taggart. There you go. It's pretty straightforward.
Boy, we could have saved 21 minutes if he just led with that.
I just think we do this, and there is nuance to this, and there is a reason to break down each component of the discussion. Okay, well, was this a mistake, but then this happened, or did he get this right, but he got this terribly wrong, and it overshadowed that thing? You can do that, and it's good. It's good to vet the whole thing. But, yeah, I think when I run into people now, they'll go, hey, what do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? And I want to say, listen, I do this every day, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, sometimes more. I'm not going to do that discussion here in the middle of Walmart or wherever you run into me. So here's
shopping at Walmart, are you?
Well, it's close to the house. If you got to get light bulbs, you got to get light bulbs. Tom, what are you going to do? It's right there.
Publix.
It's closer right there. Anyhow, so I go and I get the light bulb, and they go, hey, what do you think? And I think, A, thanks for listening. B, they're going to be a lot better next year.
50 watts soft white. That's what I think.
I think they're going to be a lot better next year than they were this past year. That's what I think. And I think that sums it up.
Well, if you look at just the offensive side of the ball and the coaching staff, it's Bell for Briles, upgrade. It's Fry for Fry Clements, co-offensive line coaches, upgrade. And then you bring in Dugans at wide receiver, upgrade.
Upgrade.
So now, on the defensive side of the ball, Harlan might be wanting to get used to Willie looking over his shoulder a little bit, right?
Well, I mean, this is a great class for that secondary. Let's get Taylor back healthy.
But it seemed like they had some disagreements early. I remember back in camp when I think it was fall camp. I don't think it was spring. But Willie said something of, we got to simplify things a little bit for him. Let's make the message cleaner. And it seemed to be a media message for Harlan saying, let's just. So if they've got any philosophical issues, well, Willie can work on that much more hands-on as he leaves Briles to the offense. So I would assume that there's going to be much more interaction between Harlan and Coach Taggart this year, as Harlan has a bit of a show-and-prove season ahead of him, too.
We think there's going to be help on that side of the ball as well.
At some point.
Yeah,
we're
going to hear about
make
that
these
as well.
hires.
Yeah. I guess it really doesn't matter as long as they're hired by the time spring rolls around.
But we want something more to talk about than miscalculations in the preseason.
I would like that too, but it really doesn't matter until we get to spring ball that we have a full allotment of coaches, I suppose. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
To win it. At 5'7", Webb was the smallest player in NBA history at the time, but that did not stop Webb from showing off his 42-inch vertical. Spud would throw down a 360 dunk and get perfect scores to hold off the human highlight film, Dominique Wilkins.
Want better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine? Change your oil every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. You know that sticker on your windshield? Don't look at it now. Wait until the next red light. Okay, check the number on your sticker. Then check your odometer. Is it time? There are 19 Tallahassee area Super Lube locations, which means there's one close to you right now. No appointments, and you're in and out in no time. You can do this today. Super Lube, for better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine.
How I love to Super Lube my car. Yes, sir.
This is Chris Kraft with news that is sure to change the car buying landscape in North Florida. Our brother Peter and I are now the proud new owners of the Infiniti dealership in Tallahassee, the all-new Kraft Infiniti. As Mercedes-Benz dealers for over 25 years early in our careers, we know how to sell and service Highline vehicles the right way. At Kraft Infiniti, our mission statement is simple: to provide our customers with a car buying experience that is unsurpassed in value, consideration for your time, and pure enjoyment. Finally, the Highline experience you deserve, and it's from the Kraft brothers. Infiniti is much more than a brand name. It's a lifestyle and it's a statement. And at Kraft Infiniti, Peter and I will go beyond your expectations in providing the best sales and service experience in Tallahassee. So come see us at the all-new Kraft Infiniti, beyond your expectations, and brought to you by the Kraft brothers. Kraft Infiniti, 3355 Capitol Circle Northeast, conveniently located between Home Depot and the I-10 flyover. Call 297-1488 or visit us on the web at craftinfinity.com.
Need help moving? 2 Men and a Truck Tallahassee provides professional home and business move services, both locally and long distance. For your next move, visit 2men.com or call them at 850-224-2232. 2 Men and a Truck, the movers who care.
Hi, this is David. Listen up. Deep South Kawasaki in Thomasville has excess 2019 side-by-side inventory, and it must go. Deep South Kawasaki is currently offering a 2019 Mule SX 4x4 for only $67.99. That's $700 less than the original MSRP of $74.99. Yes, that's right. Only $67.99 for 2019 Mule SX 4x4. Supplies are limited, so don't miss out. Deep South Kawasaki is located on US 19 South in Thomasville.
After 40 years as Florida State Baseball's head coach, Mike Martin Sr. is making this his final season. Join all of us here at Garnet and Gold as we celebrate the farewell tour for the winningest coach in college baseball history, with limited edition commemorative baseballs, t-shirts, and caps in stock right now. And while you're here, check out Nike's hot new line of FSU baseball jerseys, tees, and ball caps. Garnet and Gold with 3 locations: West Pensacola Street, Collard, and Governor Square Boulevard. If you're a Seminole, we're your store. Shop local and go Noles.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. Celtics president Danny Ainge not worried when it comes to Kyrie Irving re-signing with the team this summer. Ainge told 98.5 The Sports Hub the Celtics remain confident Irving will remain in Boston come July 1. Irving has sent some mixed messages this season when it comes to his future. In October, he seemed to indicate he'd re-sign, and then last week he appeared to be a little less committed, telling reporters to ask him July 1st. Superstar center Anthony Davis remains with the Pelicans as the team opted not to move him before the trade deadline. Instead, we'll look to trade him this summer, and that makes things a little awkward in New Orleans, notes ESPN NBA analyst Tom Thibodeau.
Now they have to deal with the aftermath, and that's not an easy thing to deal with. So, but Anthony is a very high character guy, and I think once he does play, I think he'll be fine, but it's not an easy situation to be in.
Davis out the last 9 games with an injured finger, expected to return tonight versus the Timberwolves, 9:30 Eastern, ESPN TV and the ESPN app. Baseball looks like the Indians will be without all-star shortstop Francisco Lindor to start the season. Lindor suffered a strained calf while recently working out. The team anticipates he'll be sidelined up to 9 weeks, and that would put his return sometime in early April. Cleveland opens up the regular season on March 28th. Speaking at the end of an owners' meeting, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred said that management is focused on pace of game changes for 2019 and that larger issues such as expanding the DH to the National League, too complicated to be put into place for this season. Those will be talks to determine in the next collective bargaining agreement. The current CBA expires at the end of the 2021 season.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill. Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Wrapping it up, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Reminder that tomorrow on the deck, come join us if you're out and about and you're going to go to the game. Even if you're not going to go to the game, you just want to eat good food, enjoy the weather outside. By the way, what's that weather window?
I think it might be cloudy, but it's lower temperatures than the last few days. Let me pull it up right now on the fly.
Delicious pizza at the deck.
It is delicious pizza. And the monkey bread, which they have, which is their signature appetizer, is $5. Happy hour specials all day long. And from 1 to 3, there will be Captain Morgan consumer sampling, as they like to call it. So the Captain people will be out there.
Consumer sampling,
for some consumer samples. Looks like a high of 64 tomorrow, just cloudy. Doesn't appear to be any rain in the forecast, sir.
Got no time for all that rain? No, sir. Let's go enjoy the deck.
That's right.
Cool temperatures. Ice cold beer.
Do the build your own pizza. I have them throw
tasty pizza,
cherry peppers and jalapenos on there. It's delicious.
I like that. I'll throw some more stuff on there. Let's just get crazy. Throw some spinach on there too. Love some sauteed spinach on there to boot.
All right.
Garlic.
On some
down with the garlic.
Yeah, I'm
you
down
gotta
with the
fire
garlic.
up the garlic.
Let's get the monkey bread.
Yeah, I've not had the monkey bread.
We'll have to get one for the table because it's big, man. It's hearty.
All right. What'd you think? Ham sounded like he's in a good mood.
He sounded like a man whose team is getting healthier. You can hear it, the reassurance in his voice. I think he stopped short of admitting that he was kind of with you at 1 and 4. He was not. He was like, oh, there are reasons, but I was a little worried. And now,
well, he was worried that they weren't going to get healthy. That's what he was worried about. Obviously, he didn't feel like he had his guys, and that's a helpless feeling to not be able to field the team you thought you had coming into the season, which you knew to be good. And the worst part is that you had a taste of it. Not only did you get it last year in the tournament, but then the non-conference, Florida State played great. You think about the win over LSU, the win over Purdue, the ass kicking of Florida, and you look at those moments and you say, okay, we got this squad is confident, they're talented, they're deep. They're tall. We got length and we got depth and we got, experience, all the things that really make up a team to go on another run. And one by one, you're dealing with pretty significant injuries to players you're desperately counting on. And one guy who's just not going to get healthy. He's just doing what he can right now. But Terrence, man, you needed to get right. It's good you can't really, as he said, you can't really play basketball without your feet. Especially if you're a slasher, an offensive rebounder, a guy who does a bunch of a little bit of everything, I should say.
Well, and that's where Kofor is coming back healthy too. You could just hear it in the subtext of what he was saying, that the both of them are getting healthy. I think you're absolutely right with your intel that Trent Forrest is good. It's going to be a pain management thing from here on out. But you can kind of see it with Mann and Kofor being healthy. Your front line is pretty well solidified with Kumaje and Kabengele, and then Raekwon Gray can step in a pinch for you. But you've got good depth there. Nichols is a good depth reserve, and if he gets hot, usually against a man defense in the half court, then you could play him for more minutes in those types of games. Against the zone, not so sure right now. And then you tinker with Savoy if he's feeling it on a certain night, or MJ's feeling it on a certain night. Maybe you get Polite in there once in a very long while. I figured I'd say that just to watch you shake your head.
Vassell. You get Vassell in there and you let him play more and more and more.
But roles seem to be carved out a little bit better at this point in the season.
I thought it was funny the way he handled the Fiondu question, but the reality is he knows that kid is an absolute stud, and he just does have to manage his emotions, but he's done such a good job of that. I'm greedy. I want more of Fiondu. I'm sure the way they're handling it now is the right way, but man, that kid would start for me, and he'd play 30 minutes a night, and he's just so talented.
Well, I love the answer today. That was, I don't want to say original because I'm sure he's had that answer the whole time. It's not like something he just carved up because you asked the question. But I like that answer about let's see where the refs are in a given game because it does swing. I mean, you have a Pitt game and then you have a Duke game, and it's completely different. 2 days apart, same conference, and the way those games were called could not be more disparate, and that would affect Kabangale very greatly. Tomorrow has the chance to be an emotional game too, given it'll be a raucous atmosphere. But Louisville always has an edge to it, and now that Mack is their coach, I'm sure that'll be the story again.
That red ass, good Lord.
Yeah.
He's quickly become a guy that it's fun to root against.
He's like a tall Mick Cronin.
He is really, really tough to like. Great coach. Nobody's questioning that.
I mean,
very good
look
coach.
At their conference record. It's immense.
No, he's a talented coach. This is not, normally I do that thing where I tell you, finger on the trigger tells me, or a finger on the pulse.
Oh, hope not.
Yeah, finger on the pulse tells me.
Either somebody's going down or I'm going down.
Finger on the pulse tells me great things, bad things, whatever it might be. I get a hunch here and there. I talk about shooting on the road, or I talk about this isn't a good matchup. They're all wrong for us, baby. Or I say, oh, yeah, we got this. Don't worry about it. This is weird because this is the first time in a long time where I'm kind of in between. On the one hand, you blow Syracuse out. You have all the right answers at every key moment of that game. You withstand 2 runs. You get that win, again, by 18. And you think, okay, we're rolling now. 4 straight victories in the conference. We're getting healthier. We play so well at home. We're a very good basketball team. And though Louisville has played great, this is a great matchup. On the other hand, that Louisville team, I don't like the matchup for us, oddly enough. So I am kind of the mindset that this is going to have you on the edge of your seat. I see no other option, if I'm doing the finger on the pulse thing, but to tell you this is a 1 or 2 possession game with 2 minutes to play.
Yeah.
I mean, it just feels like a game where we're going to have to get loud. We're going to be sitting there, and it's 70-70, and you're nervous because this has the makings of a classic.
I'll say, can I have another one of those complimentary beverages at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, ESPN Tallahassee Executive Suite? Probably not for the faint of heart along the glass if the officials let it go that way.
Let's play ball,
They're going to battle for the boards.
Let them be men. Let's go. Let competitors compete. This does not need to be a ticky-tack, because if it is, because of the way these 2 teams are built, it's going to be a foul festival, and you're going to get tired of hearing these officials and watching these officials showcase themselves when we should be watching basketball. Let them play like they did against Duke. Let these guys showcase that athleticism, that size, that depth, that talent. We need that.
Yeah.
It also, I think, typically works in our favor, especially at home.
So let's win the battle on the boards, and let's stand on a few boards on the deck in downtown Tallahassee tomorrow as well.
Glorious indeed. Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Thanks to Coach Hamilton. Thanks to all of you. We'll see you tomorrow if you come out. If not, enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday. Be well.